taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
To confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science.
We started originally as a hardware company back in it was late '09. My vapor story, I'll just tell it really quick. I have 4 daughters, and my daughter at the time said to me, you know, Dad, why do you want to die? She was just a kid. She was 7 or 8 years old. She said, how come you want to die? And I said, I don't want to die. What makes you think Dad wants to die? And she said, well, you smoke, and smoking kills you. So you must want to die. You know that smoking kills you. And it just killed me that was what I was teaching my kid. So she wrote a little book, like an 8-page book, and it had heartbreaking pictures like, you know, here's what it looks like, me walking down the aisle without my dad. Here's what my dad's lungs look like, you know, just horrible, horrible stuff. So at the end of it, there was a little signature where I had to sign and promise not to smoke. And I signed it, and I lied. And I smoked, and I would, you know, put on a hat and gloves and blow it up and wash my hands and hope nobody would catch me. But I just felt shitty about it. And I was a gadget guy, and I started reading about this technology that was, you know, primarily Chinese technology at the time. None of that stuff had really made it stateside, or it was very rare stateside. When people first saw me vaping, they thought I was using drugs. But I started ordering these gadgets from China, and you know, even the Chinese liquid, you couldn't get liquid stateside at the time, or at least I wasn't initiated into the vapor world enough to know where to get it. So, yeah, I started on, you know, really cheap Chinese liquid, really cheap Chinese gear. But the thing that blew me away about it was literally the first time I puffed it. As horrible as it tasted, I knew I was never going to smoke again, and I never did. And for a guy that would leave the house at 3 o'clock in the morning for, you know, a pack of cigarettes if I had run out, I was, you know, I was a nicotine junkie. I mean, I still am a nicotine addict, but at least, you know, it doesn't come with the tar and the ash and the 5,000 chemicals, 88 known carcinogens. But yeah, I would go out in the middle of the night to get them, and it just blew my mind that this one puff of this crazy device that I had gotten overseas, it was like that. And I tried everything: Wellbutrin, patches, gums, hypnosis, cold turkey. You know, nothing, absolutely nothing worked. I was committed to smoking. But so after that, I said, oh my God, everybody needs to know about this. Everybody needs to know. My grandmother had died due to complications from a few things, you know, one of them being her tobacco addiction. And I just felt like everybody needed to know it. So I started to, you know, buy the devices, give them to friends. And then, you know, it started to spread, and folks asked me, you know, how do I get them? So I just threw up a quick site. I was, you know, I worked in IT and financial services my whole life. So it wasn't really a job. It was just something I was doing to help out some friends, and it turned into a business that I loved.
Hola, ¿cómo está? How are you? There are people here. Hello, people. It is Friday. It is Mother's Day weekend. So we should give a special shout out to all of our mothers that vape so that they can be around for their kids in the future. All right. Celebrate all the mothers. Yay, mothers. I don't think Troop is a mom, though. Troop is in the chat room, but I don't think he's a mom. But Steve was here, and he wanted everyone to know that he was first. Congratulations, Steve. I don't have a trophy for you. And Mallory is here, and Michael's here, and Bill Tarling says he's here, but he's going to go watch something in Chinese, season 3 of something Chinese, and he will watch the replay. Hello, Bill, and goodbye, Bill. I don't know. He may still be here. But anyway, well, that is true that you are an MFer, Troop. That I will, yes, you are an MFer. Fine. A a crazy MFer. But all right. Let's see. It looks like our old man correspondent did show up. He did not show up, and I started the show hoping that he would show up. But there,
Stop it.
there. Look how look.
Oh, that's all right. I like that.
Look how big you are.
Oh well, I don't know about that. It depends on whose mother it is. True.
Yeah.
That's better.
Hey, did you see Big Chocolate is in the room?
No, I
Big
need to reintroduce myself.
Big Chocolate is in the room. There's old Chris.
No.
Chris Big Knowledge with the effervescent smile. He is here. The effervescent smile. So Kev, what the hell's been going on with you? Where you been all week? What's going on?
I've been trying to hug tobacco control experts all week, and nobody wants to give me a hug back. I don't understand that.
To hug you? That's sad.
It's the post blankety blank thing. So I thought hugs were a normal thing again. No, guess not.
No. There's no hugs.
So I did that blankety blank. Huh?
Blank. Yes. Don't get my channel canceled by saying those certain words that you're not allowed to say on YouTube.
No, that bullshit. You don't send me the fucking rule book with my check.
There are constantly people losing their channels about saying stuff about that
blankety blank.
That thing that happened in Washington D.C. a while back. You don't want to talk about that.
No. Oh, see.
I did see. Speaking of that thing that happened in January a couple years ago,
I'd hug the chocolate out of Chris. By the way, just so y'all know.
I did. I didn't know until the next day that Donald Trump was on TV, on CNN, no less.
Are we allowed to say that too?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're just reporting the facts. He was on CNN doing a let me see here a town hall. So it was quite humorous. It was quite humorous. He ran all over the moderator. And again, I'm not purposefully I'm definitely not pro Trump, but I'm not horribly anti Trump either, unless somebody else is going to run against him that's better. Well,
this is what we got.
But it was quite humorous. And then I actually spent that next day listening to somebody was watching it and then pausing it and talking, kind of like what we do with the news clips and stuff that we do, except that they did an entire hour and a half show doing it, but that one video piece. But it was hilarious. And the thing is people that like him are going to still like him.
Yeah.
People that hate him are still going to hate him.
True.
There is no.
It's what you have to.
Nobody is going to watch that video and say, you know what, I wasn't going to vote for him, but I'm going to vote for him now. I mean, all that did is just, but it was, I thought it was quite funny that, oh, look, there's Victor. Victor just showed up, Kevin.
It's what happens after you eat chocolate, Chris.
What? But it was funny that CNN actually put him on their TV, and they did put somebody that would be able to control him on the screen. Because the girl that there, I mean, she was a lovely young lady. Don't get me wrong, but she was ineffectual at trying to control him.
Ineffectual.
Somebody like Jim Acosta or one of the other people would, at least, but she kept trying to call him on his shit and he just ran right over her. But I'm not suggesting that you go watch that because that's not what we're here about anyway.
That's not why we're
either
here.
He will or will not be president in a year or two or whatever
that's up to you people.
Yes, and I suggest that each and every and I will never tell you how to vote. That is your job to decide who you're going to vote for. But please, by God, vote. Vote for somebody. Otherwise, you're just going to complain. And you might complain anyway, but at least this way you have some sort of justification for complaining.
Or blame. Depending on how it works.
Ron DeSanctimonious or Ron DeSantis. Yeah, that guy.
What do we got? 250, 280 million people in the country. And that young man in New York, I think it was New York.
Young man.
Oh no, it was Ohio. It was Ohio. He said, "Why can't you run for office, Patrick, Kevin? Money."
Well,
the more chocolate I eat, the better looking I am, Chris.
When you run for political office, Kevin,
yeah,
they tend to like pull up all the rocks and check all the closets, and there's maybe a thing or two in my past that I just don't think I want people to know about.
Yeah,
I said to my boss,
everybody's past.
And I have a very decent job, Kevin. I would never complain about how much money I make or anything like that. But I was telling my boss today how it, and again, I'm not complaining about how much money I make, but I said it is kind of funny that when I was a bartender in New Orleans, when I was in college, I made more money than I make now.
Yes.
Because being a bartender in New Orleans is quite lucrative if you're a good bartender, because there's literally a convention every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The best weekend of the entire year, Kevin, is when the National Teachers Conference comes to New Orleans. And literally they do it there almost every year for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, duh.
I don't know why.
It wasn't the Avon convention, no.
Yeah, and then
that's my mother-in-law's.
Then the boss, I said to the boss, I'd like to just retire and let my wife work. And my boss said, I would do that too, but my husband makes way more money than me. And I said, well, my wife makes more money than me too. I said the only way I could catch up to my wife is if I started selling drugs again. And she stopped and she said, "Again?"
See?
Fun times.
It's all right.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, or my mother rather, went to New Orleans and for the Avon convention, and I went to see her a few weeks later uncaring about her trip, really, because I didn't care. And there was a shitload of beads up on her coat rack. And I said, right. And I said, Ma, that's an awful lot of beads. How'd you get those? I don't know. They just kept throwing them at me. I said, really? How about that? You're 60.
Hey.
And they didn't care.
In New Orleans, nobody cares how old you are.
And I told her that, and she was aghast, I guess is the best word to use. You weren't showing them your tits? No.
So people think of Mardi Gras as being the big New Orleans thing, right? But I tell you what, Halloween.
These are beads, right?
Oh dear God, Halloween is monstrous.
Trophy.
And the last Halloween I was there, I wore my kilt, and I went full regimental.
Yeah.
I got a lot of beads too. I
bet you did. She said she would do no such thing. I said that's an awful lot of beads.
What happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans, man.
I guess. This is an Avon convention, so I don't know. Her and her girlfriends. I don't know.
Yeah. But so this week has been kind of an interesting week, Kevin.
A lot of chuck-a-lucking in it.
There's a lot of stuff going on. In tragic news this week, and this is actually really tragic news. I'm not being a jerk about that when I say that. New York is reporting that a house fire was started. It says here, father's homemade vape pen operation fueled Brooklyn fire that killed her and 2 daughters. We're gonna read this tragic news, and we're gonna be critical about what it says.
All right.
But it says here, there's a heartbreaking update to a deadly fire at a home in East New York, Brooklyn. The city's medical examiner confirmed Wednesday a third person has died, a 10-year-old girl. A 36-year-old woman and her 2 daughters are dead, and 4 surviving family members are hospitalized, including a pair of critically injured children. Family friend Jamal Al-Ghazali described shock and sadness as he surveyed the empty, fire-ravaged building in East New York's Fountain Avenue. It's very sad, he said. Very great family, very respectful family, very nice family. Lots of berries there. Investigators had described the Tuesday fire as suspicious after finding an accelerant. On Wednesday, there was an update about the 37-year-old man in the home, the husband of the woman who died and the father of the children. Police said the man told them he had chemicals in the home and was assembling vape dispensers, which may have been sold in a family-run corner store 1 block away. The business was closed Wednesday for a second day. Police said it is unclear if events leading to the fire involved if events leading up to the fire involved anything illegal. The man has burns on his hands and feet. So, and there are multiple stories about this week. I'm not going to read all of them, obviously, but and it's a sad thing for sure. But I don't know that there's any accelerants in e-liquid. VG and PG are definitely not accelerants, unless it was something else. But if he's making actual devices with batteries and things like that, they may spark a fire, but there's no accelerants. So, but the thing is, and I'm going to double check because Bill sent me a different story about the same thing. And, I just want to see if it has a different take. But let's throw this one on screen. Present, share screen. All right, let's share this. It says, this is from the AP. Officials say, let me close this. I don't know why this thing's over here. Say fire that killed 3 in New York, apparently caused by homemade vape pens. A fire that killed a mother and 2 daughters in New York City has apparently sparked by homemade vape dispensers that the family was assembling to sell, officials said. The fire broke out shortly after 2 a.m. Wednesday in an apartment in East New York section of Brooklyn. Police said a 36-year-old woman, a 17-year-old girl were killed, and relatives told the Daily News that a 10-year-old girl died later from injuries of her. Investigators at first suspected arson because an accelerant was found on the scene, but it appears that the substance being used to make vape dispensers. Guys making products catches fire somehow. Now, is that criminal? That's still to be determined. The fatal fire happened amid growing concern in the city about fires linked to the lithium-ion batteries that power electric bikes and scooters. A fire caused by a lithium-ion battery killed 2 people in Upper Manhattan on Sunday. Officials said Fire Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh said Tuesday that the batteries have sparked 76 fires so far this year, killing 7 people and injuring 60 others. Officials have urged New Yorkers not to use off-market batteries for e-bikes and scooters and to not charge them overnight when people are sleeping. We want to continue reminding New Yorkers of the safety messaging around these devices and awareness surrounding the best practices of having these devices in your home.
So
that's it. So
I see that
not any more
nicotine-
detail.
Yeah. I do not find nicotine as an accelerant. Lithium, if you don't know, is lithium-ion batteries are both a fuel and an accelerant for fire. So that could be the possible cause. But
so that's apparently what happened. I mean, if they're assembling homemade vape pens to sell at a family store down the street, but the deal is, here's the thing, guys, and this is something that we've said before. What's going to happen when all these products get banned?
Right.
So
unregulated.
It's going to be an unregulated thing. It's going to be a real, true, dyed-in-the-wool black market, and there is no such thing as a safe black market, period.
No. So banning these things killed some people.
Theoretically, this could happen more frequently if people are making devices, I don't know, disposable vape pens in the basement.
Well,
and I mean, this clearly is the first of many of these. If true prohibition happens, I mean, I don't know if anybody else, but Kevin's old enough to remember when this happened. But during prohibition, and people were bootlegging whiskey, the term blind drunk comes from the fact that impure alcohol was on the market and people were drinking it, and it was making them blind.
Impure? You mean like cut and stuff that shouldn't have been? What?
They were running it through like car radiators and stuff.
No.
Yes. That's not true distillation,
cars.
my friend.
Here's the funny.
But you remember that when it happened, Kevin.
Was there in 2010 or so when you started, there was a lot of experimentation by consumers back then. Were there instances I'm unaware of all the time, or on occasion, or infrequently, or rarely, or ever that you can recall? Because the battery
instances of what?
Of fire injuries, hazards like this, because the battery knowledge went quickly, in my opinion. It went from the little tiny things to the big ass things, right?
Well,
within a few years.
Where's my CR123s? I showed you last week. I had them here.
Right, those are extremely flammable.
So this is a CR123. This is one of the first
Patrick.
Huh?
You should have tape on that. I'm serious. I'm not
what do you mean
joking.
Tape on it?
You should have tape on the top and the bottom of it, so it never.
Why? I still use it.
Oh, you're physically using it. Okay, never mind. Wally World.
I still have a device that uses this.
Oh, all right. Don't let it roll around in your metal desk. That's all.
No, I don't have a metal desk. I have a glass top desk, so it's not going to. But anyway, so those little batteries, the CR123s, were in a lot of devices back in the day. Then we went to, the big 18650s.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have some devices here that use 18350s. 18490. So I mean, the idea is though, and I did see, I have seen quite a few battery issues. I actually was at a vape event and watched a battery vent and explode and destroy a mod and shoot itself.
Yeah.
Yep, 14500. Yep, toasty cheese. I've seen it happen. So it does happen because stupid people do stupid things.
Yes.
But and that was all legal. I mean, that was not a black market situation.
Right.
But people will overuse batteries. They'll charge multiple times. They'll, recharge a battery beyond the safe limit. The AW batteries, these ones here, These are, I mean, back in the day, the guy that started AW was a flashlight enthusiast. And I'm talking about a real flashlight enthusiast. He collected like fancy smancy, and those batteries, the these batteries were and still probably are the safest batteries on the market.
Uh-huh.
But they're button top. You can get flat tops too, but these batteries don't have the milliamp hours. They are the mAh. Yeah, they don't have the mAh that a lot of people like.
Right.
But for ProVary, I mean, back in the day, you couldn't use a ProVary without a button top AW battery. The ProVary 1s and the ProVary 2s only used button top batteries.
Right.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to. Later on, people learned a trick or two, and you would find batteries, magnets.
Yeah.
So this is a non-button top. This is a non-button top 18350 battery, but you can buy a magnet to put on it, so then it will work in a situation where you wow, these two batteries are stuck together like crazy now.
Needed.
Yeah. But yes, you asked about a simple question about batteries, and then I went into a full presentation. But yeah, battery safety is going to be one of those things, especially when the companies that we use and trust for batteries now, and Wally brought up Trust Fire batteries. Yeah, never buy a battery that has the word fire in it. I just I'm just gonna throw that out there. And there were two battery companies that had the word fire in the name, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's like having a device called a cherry bomb.
Or having one that looked like an M80.
I mean, there was an actual device, a vape device, a mechanical mod called a cherry bomb. And I was like, why would you name your device bomb? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it's a challenge.
Yeah, these are stupid human tricks.
If you take, like Michael said, all are a fire hazard. If you take a 9-volt as a kid and you stuck it to your tongue, that's what I'm talking about. So all batteries.
I mean, now the thing about a 9-volt battery is the cycle on a 9-volt battery is not going to be enough to actually cause you any physical harm.
Right.
If you short out one of these batteries, there's going to be a boom.
Know it.
Now, if you short out a 9-volt battery, or if you cross the positive and the negative, you're going to get a spark. And
you are going to.
I've actually seen camping videos where people say they actually demonstrate how to use a gum wrapper to bridge the positive and negative on a 9-volt battery to start a fire. And it will start a fire.
Yes, it will.
And it does get warm. I mean, it will, but like it's not going to explode nearly as much as this.
A fire marshal.
This will actually explode.
Yeah. The fire marshal I met had thrown a 9-volt battery with his cans, and they caught fire. So.
But if you, look on YouTube, you'll see some
funny,
camping videos where people are like, "Oh, well, if if you bring a 9-volt battery, you can start a fire."
Yeah, you can.
Your campfire.
You sure can.
You can make hot dogs. Now, I'll tell you a horror story about batteries real quick. That when I was a kid, my parents left us for the weekend with a family friend who was he was a trailer fan. Him and his kids lived in a trailer. We'll just say that. And we were trying to play our Walkman. You remember back in the day your cassette tape Walkman?
Yeah.
But the batteries were dead. And the daughter said, "Oh, well, if you just put it in the oven for a little bit and let it get warm,
Okay.
It'll work for a little while.
Oh,
So here we are all day, every half an hour, throwing these batteries in the oven to warm up.
wow.
And we did not burn the trailer down.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't feel it through my oven mitt. It must be good.
Yeah. I was like, what? That would have been like 4th grade. Yeah, she was
Wow.
the second girl I saw naked.
Wow. Even more wow.
And we weren't cousins.
Well. Oh,
All right.
goodness.
So we got a story about Bruni in the news today.
What?
Yeah. Or at least one of his cousins. Yeah, let me throw this on the screen. It says, man tries to hit deputy while being tasered outside of a closed vape shop.
There we go. Closed vape shop.
This is Berkeley County, South Carolina. Authorities say a man tried to hit a Berkeley County deputy in the face while resisting arrest outside a closed vape shop he was trying to get into. Joseph Michael Horrigan, 46, is charged with resisting arrest and cited for malicious injury to property, deputies say. The sheriff's office responded to the 540 smoke and vape shop in Somerville at 9 on May 3rd. The store's owner told investigators that Horrigan tried to go into the store after they had already closed. Horrigan then got a rock and began smashing the front glass door, according to the incident report. The man never made it inside, but according to the owner, the door was destroyed. When deputies arrived, they went up to Horrigan and told him to put his hands up in the air. In response, Horrigan shouted at the deputies, "I will not," and "You son of a bitch. I will not, you son of a bitch." Son of a biatch.
You can't make me.
The incident report states investigators say Horrigan moved closer to the deputies despite them having taser guns out. This is when the deputies used them on the man, who immediately began ripping out the probes and yelling louder. The arrest
Good for
report
him.
states. He was hit by the taser gun again, and authorities say he then tried to hit a deputy in the face. The deputy then
Good.
knocked the man to the ground, leading to his detainment and eventual arrest.
Oh, good, they got him.
Horrigan was booked on in the Berkeley County Detention Center. Now, Kevin,
what?
we often say that
Yeah.
vaping is not considered addictive
Yeah.
because people don't try to steal, people don't try to cause harm. Mamas aren't trying to sell their babies for their next nicotine hit.
Mostly.
This fella, though, is demonstrating some of the signs and symptoms of
tendency
of a person that is addicted to something.
Although it may not be the vape.
I'm not sure what he was buying at that vape shop that was that imperative.
Yeah.
But breaking into a vape shop and yelling at the cops and saying, "I will not, you son of a bitch," to a armed sheriff's deputy is probably not the way to endear yourself to law enforcement.
Let me write that down. So I might need this in
Now,
the future.
I want a show of hands in the chat room. How many of you guys, if you were out of e-liquid, would try to break into a vape shop after it was closed to get your favorite flavors?
Duly
Show
done.
of hands.
Show of hands. I don't see any hands yet.
Neither do I. Yeah.
Bruni's not in the room.
Well, Bruni might be committing some crimes here soon if Australia keeps going the way it's going.
Maybe that's why he's not here. I can only, I have no idea. Oh,
Wally says he's been vaping 12 years and he's not giving it up. Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Probably get $1,000 for a box of vapes. It probably, but
Well,
if the cops catch you, he was on something.
well,
I'm thinking he might have been on the crystal meth or something. because I don't even think
Oh well.
I don't even think like a pothead, which is something that you probably could buy at a vape shop, but I don't even think a pothead would necessarily
I wouldn't. No,
break into a vape shop for pot.
I don't think so.
Call me crazy. See,
I mean, if you're going to break into a vape shop or any other shop, you're going to break into it. It doesn't matter.
You got to get something like this, to keep it.
Yeah. I got a couple of those.
I got 3, and that one I need to actually put in the freezer, but I need to break it down into glass bottles. But I have 2 in the freezer, one over there that's open that I'm using, and that one that I need to break down.
Janice is off of nicotine completely now, which I'm kind of against. But
that means more for you.
Well, I probably won't run out. I think I overcalculated.
Well, that's fine. Then, just keep it frozen. It'll be fine.
No, my friend Bruni might want it.
Well, you try to get that into Australia. That'll, All right, let's see. Now, Kevin.
Drop bear liquid and throw it in the mail.
Yeah. So we've, I think we've covered this general topic multiple times, but we're gonna cover some school hijinks again. So we've talked about educators not being the perfect human beings that a lot of people think they are. 1 in 10. I'm going to repeat the stat again. 10%. 10% of all public school kids are sexually abused or assaulted or victimized by their educators, by their teachers. So you're going to get a kick out of this. I'm going to present this on screen. No, you have the Victor share screen. I know. Police.
Yeah.
Substitute teacher arrested for letting 7th grader use vape pen. Now, I'm not going to read this article because I do actually have a video telling this story. So I'm going to go ahead and load the video for your edification. And so I don't lose my voice because I'm reading all the time. But here's a video piece that tells us. Jeffrey Zamora is here.
Teacher in Lake County is facing child abuse charges after investigators say she allowed a 7th grader to take a hit off of her vape pen.
It happened last week.
So the original story doesn't say, they missed the word her.
Yeah.
So it says that the teacher allowed a student to use vape pen. Yes.
Yeah.
But this was actually her vape pen that she allowed the student to take a hit off of. Let's go.
Week at Eustis Middle School, Jennifer Hale is now facing charges. West 2's Haley Crumblehome spoke with parents and the police department about what happened and the reason she says she did it. Haley.
Yeah, it was surprising for.
Now, this is going to be maybe inappropriate for me to say, Kevin, but Haley is a quite attractive young lady.
Those parents and the police department, according to their report, it happened in last week here at Eustis Middle. It says a substitute teacher heard a student talking.
Well, I'm just looking at this dress that she's wearing, or this top that I don't know if it's a dress but where she placed her microphone. I mean, this is not relevant to the story, but I'm just saying that there is, there is something drawing my eye.
About how his friend, a 7th grader, wanted to vape. She then gave him hers to take a hit.
Teachers, it's scary now.
Jennifer Hunter has.
That is true. Teachers are fucking scary. They're raping your kids. And this one is, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I would much rather a teacher hand a vape pen to a student versus being fondled or raped or, not that I'm justifying either, this behavior, but I'm just saying They should be doing stories every night on the news telling the kids to stay away from the teachers. Yeah, but
An 8th grader at Eustis Middle School. As a mom, she's had her worries about what other kids are doing at school.
I never thought that a substitute teacher would give my child that or someone else's child any of that stuff. Just other students.
According to a Eustis police report, a 7th grader said a substitute teacher named Jennifer heard his friend say he wanted to vape, and that she said, "I have one," and pulled it out. That 7th grader says she then asked if he wanted a hit and told him not to report it.
You can't do this. You just can't do it. I mean,
Oh, Bruce Willis is here.
so we've done stories in the past of like adults luring children to send, like naked pictures in exchange for vape stuff. Yep. Who's to say that this teacher didn't give this kid a toot off of the vape, and then he's going to come back later and say, can I do that again? And she's going to say, well, if you take a picture of your pee-pee and send it to me, I'll you don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, really and truly, I'm glad I don't have any kids, because I would never let them go to school. I would have to stay at home and homeschool them because of all the pervs and pedos and all the shit that's going on in public school these days. I mean, when I was a kid, Kevin, I was literally afraid that if I did something wrong or got caught doing something wrong, that I was going to get my ass beat, because I was going to get taken out in the hallway and given 3 licks. I was going to go to the principal's office and get 3 licks, and I was going to go home and get 3 licks.
And get 12 licks, yeah.
And grounded for life,
Yeah.
These kids today, they've got it so easy. They've been coddled. There's just no fucking way. They're not afraid of anything.
No.
They're not afraid of adults. They're not afraid of the world. And that's the thing, is they should definitely learn, to be afraid. But I mean, you also have to learn that you also have to stand on your own 2 feet, and eventually you have to go out into the world, but blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But anyway, let's go.
this should be common sense.
Eustis police say the substitute, Jennifer Hale, is facing child abuse charges.
So she has a responsibility to that classroom.
I bet you $10 she'll be in the next neighboring school district teaching in the next week or two.
To protect kids, not abuse them.
According to the report, when the principal confronted Hale about what happened, she admitted to it and was escorted off campus and told not to return. Chief Capri says the reason she gave for doing it was surprising.
This is hilarious. Now you
Oh boy.
Contacted her. She immediately, post Miranda, confessed to doing it. Her response.
Now look at this woman. This is a grown-up adult woman.
Yeah.
She's definitely not a child.
Response was she just wanted to fit in.
She just wanted to. Let's repeat this. Let's repeat this.
We contacted her. She immediately, post Miranda, confessed to doing it. Her response was she just wanted to fit in.
Why in the world? Why in the fucking world would a woman that's apparently in her 40s? I'm not gonna. I'll be nice and say she's somewhere in the ballpark of 40s. Why would she want to fit in with her 7th grade students?
Because everybody wins, Patrick. That's why.
This is where our society is broken. That an adult person, a grown-up adult person, would want to fit in with 7th grade children. Wow. Right, keep going.
Wow.
I don't get it. What is there to fit in? You're there to teach a class, not to fit in.
And Hunter feels the same.
They don't need to fit in with the kids at all. They need to be more parent-like than...
No. Educators are not supposed to be parent-like to their students.
No.
That is a closeness. That is a bond that is nowhere near. They should remain aloof and distant and authoritative with their students as a parent would, but minus the closeness and familial relation. No, sorry, Mom, but you don't want your teacher to think that she's your child's mom.
Fitting in with the kids.
No.
No, we did talk.
No. She's very attractive, Kevin. I'm just...
Stop it.
Up to the Lake County School District, they say that Hale is no longer employed with them. They say she started substituting for the district in November of last year and had no prior disciplinary issues. Hale has been released on $1,000 bond. Live in Eustis, Haley Crumblehome, West.
Wow.
Bye, Haley.
Wow. Just.
I don't get it, Kev. I seriously, I don't understand. Why in the world would any educator / teacher, and that's what I said. She maybe the first hit was free, and then everything after that was she was going to
come on back and see me. How you doing?
Extract a charge for, but
I'm surprised the child said anything. That's interesting.
Well, he probably got in trouble. He was probably using that to get out. Like he's an informant now. Like he,
yeah. Well.
They caught him on a different charge, and he said, if you let me off, I will.
I'll out Mrs. Johnson.
I'll give you information on a bigger fish. I've been watching. I don't know if you're familiar with Dick Wolf? Is that his name? He's like the producer of Law and Orders, all of the Law and Orders.
Yeah, I know.
He has a new franchise. It's FBI, and they have 3 different FBI shows. I've been watching all of them when I was on vacation 2 weeks ago. I was watching a lot of FBI, and that's how they get confidential informants. Is they arrest people for something, and then they try to flip them to get a bigger fish.
Well, I'm glad PAVE and the other establishment groups have kept Betty from letting one of her students have a vape pen. Good job, ladies. Good job. Addie's in the room, by the way.
I did see Addie. He said hello to everybody.
I'm just rolling on in.
I'm orange. What?
Huh?
Hashtag Son of Liberty Radio face orange raised. My face is not orange. I'm not Donald Trump.
The big orange man.
You're bigly wrong. Bigly.
Bigly. Look here.
Are you tired of winning yet, Kevin?
Oh, I'm just so tired. It's wearing on me.
So it says here, more than half of British smokers believe vapes are at least as harmful as cigarettes.
That's a bunch of bullshit. You know that.
More than half of British smokers.
Zach don't know what he's typing about.
Yeah,
clearly.
UK smokers are losing faith in e-cigarettes. More than half now believe that they are just as or more harmful than cigarettes. A survey of 2,000 smokers revealed a growing distrust of switching to e-cigarettes, which could undermine plans to phase out smoking in the UK. More than half of UK smokers now believe e-cigarettes. Oh, that's just a photo credit. Nearly 4 in 10, 38%. Respondents who lack confidence say it may prevent them from trying to quit their smoking habit through e-cigarettes in the future. The government's independent Con review said e-cigarettes played a central role in this smoke-free future across the country.
Stop it. Hydrate.
That one snuck right up on me. It wouldn't go away. Anyway.
Not enough oxygen.
The government's independent Con review said e-cigarettes played a central role in this smoke-free future across the country with more than 6.5 million smokers in the UK. Devil's Backbone plant. And last year, evidence from the Office for Health Improvement and Disparities confirmed that e-cigarettes are at least 95% less harmful than smoking. So that is another health organization that is confirming that e-cigarettes are more than 95% less. Yeah. But 29% have little trust in vaping as a way to quit smoking, while 13% don't trust it at all. And of those whose confidence is waning, 35% point to the lack of independent long-term clinical studies showing that e-cigarettes are less harmful than smoking. 31% are concerned about the lack of available information about the harm profile of different e-cigarette products. Dr. Chen Xingpi, I'm not being funny, but that does look like Chen Xingpi. Senior aerosol engineer of inhalation technology company S'more, which commissioned the research, said there is a lot of effort to get smokers to quit to e-cigarette products, but at the moment they just don't have all the information they need to make an informed decision to make a move. It is important that smokers feel confident enough to switch, especially as Health Secretary Neil O'Brien said, the government must realize the huge potential of vaping to help smokers quit. But cutting back or giving up is incredibly difficult. It's important to instill in them the belief that they are trying, that what they are trying will not be a waste of their time. And if vaping is to be viewed as a credible way to quit, urgent efforts must be made to ensure smokers have confidence that these products are having the desired effects. So what they're saying is the disinformation campaign waged by the people that Addie Tooney just pointed out in the chat room are having a successful effect at getting people away from quitting smoking. Research also showed how confidence could be restored among these smokers. 30% said public health campaigns to promote evidence-based facts could turn the tide. Better education for doctors to provide more evidence on how e-cigarettes can be an effective way to reduce the harm caused by smoking was also identified as another important way to build confidence. While 21% would like to see advertising regulations for vape companies lifted, provided they advertise evidence from credible sources. However, 68% of smokers are still unclear about which products would be suitable for smoking cessation, and 70% don't know who to believe when it comes to e-cigarette products. 3/4 of smokers would like information about the harm profile of the e-cigarette product to be made when purchasing it. That would be very difficult for like each company to do the research and to have that information available at the point of sale. Say, well, my e-liquid is actually 97% less safe or less harmful than smoking. And this e-liquid may only be 94%. They're saying they want product specific public harm profile information on every product available. I don't think that that's possible.
Well, they don't do it with cigarettes, do they?
No, because all of them kill. At least 50% of the people that use them as directed. Do I need to reiterate? I believe it was Troop that initially made this joke. But do you know the only other product that is on the market that is more deadly than cigarettes when used appropriately? You know what that product is, Kevin?
No.
Suicide vest.
Suicide vest. Well, there you go.
But anyway, 87% of those respondents say it's important to know exactly what you're inhaling. One poll study found many are looking for education on the chemical components, 60%, residual carbon, 46%, and heavy metal content, 44%. Well, I like my heavy metal content. Kevin, Slayer and Metallica and Megadeth.
Oh, well, you got to have it.
Motorhead.
You can't ignore it. It's got to be there somewhere in your diet.
Dude. I had not heard this before, but the other day, YouTube, you know how sometimes YouTube will say, well, you might like this. So
yeah.
You may like this, or that's it. It showed, it said Motorhead, Enter Sandman.
What?
And I was like, what? Motorhead? Enter Sandman? Let me click on this.
Lemmy.
And it was actually
Lemmy. That's good.
It was actually Lemmy and Motorhead doing a cover of Enter Sandman. I had never heard it before. And I was like,
shit. Okay.
Not to say bad things about Metallica, but I actually prefer Motorhead.
They probably do too.
I actually prefer Motorhead to Metallica any day of the week. But anyway. However, 74% of those who smoke and vape initially began reducing their addiction to cigarettes, and 58% of them said they had been successful. Dr. P.E.I. of SMORE, which has set up an independent expert think tank to explore standardized ways for harm reduction assessment and communication of e-cigarette products, said government statistics last year showed that the proportion of smokers in the UK was at its lowest. Levels have been declining since records began, largely due to the important role played by e-cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they have these random photographs included in the middle of the article. I can't tell what this has anything to do with anything. However, the results of this study highlight a significant confidence gap among adult smokers and is critical that the vape industry, government regulators, and public health together to close this gap and to support smokers on their journey to quit smoking. It is clear that open and transparent communication is vital in the process and in support of the government's ambitions to make the country smoke-free.
Right. Well.
So, do I believe that it is realistic for anyone to expect a complete smoke-free country, Kevin?
It's not ever going to happen. Ever. They can ban it. It'll not happen. It will not ever happen. Ever.
There will never be a 100% smoke-free country.
Ever.
Period.
Nowhere.
There will always be people, and if cigarettes were gone and vaping was gone, I would be smoking cigars. I'd be smoking pipe. Actually, I quite enjoy a good pipe.
Tea, oregano, whatever.
I'd be rolling up some of the grass in the front yard. You know, I'd lay it out and dry it out and smoke the shit out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It is never going to be a realistic expectation that 100% of people will be smoke free. Not going to happen.
Well, that looks great on paper, though, to the people that don't want people to smoke ever. So,
I mean, aspirationally, that's a great. I'm using big words now. Aspirationally, saying that we would like to be smoke free, that's great, but it's never going to fucking happen. People are going to be people. And people are going to seek out things they enjoy. Yes. And, you know, it is what it is. I mean, there will be there's already $1 billion black market in just New York alone for tobacco. And it's legal. Wait till that shit's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still illegal because it's tax-free cigarettes. They're you know, non-tax cigarettes, but the actual cigarettes have not been completely banned. You wait till they're completely banned. That black market is going to triple in size. It going to happen.
Well,
now,
no crime.
Now you know I have a love for the South, Kevin.
I know you do.
as a Southern gentleman, I love the Southern states. And Alabama, even though I hate Alabama football, I do love Alabama as a state. Some of my greatest friends in the vaping industry are in Alabama, or were in Alabama, or were in the vape industry. They're very good friends. Zach Carpenter from Cyclops started out in Alabama, and they became a worldwide company. I don't think he's definitely not with the company anymore, because his Facebook is all about carpentry. He must be building houses or something. But I got video from Alabama.
Uh-oh.
I got me a video from Alabama.
This just in.
This one's gonna be a head scratcher, Kevin. We're gonna have to pause this a couple times, I'm sure.
I'm ready.
Today in the Alabama Senate would make it illegal for anyone under the age of 21 to have a vaping
Kevin,
what
is the federal age to own or possess a vaping product in the United States?
I'll take 21 for 100.
Yeah.
device, even if it's empty. Tonight, the bill's sponsor, Vivian Davis Figures of Mobile, stopped by WKRG for an exclusive interview. WKRG News.
All right. I'm going to go back here because he said something that was stupid.
Even if it's empty.
Even if it's empty.
Just a second, officer. It's empty.
Now, I got to ask.
What?
How much money is the state of Alabama going to put into enforcement? You see how my southern accent when I say Alabama comes out? How much money is the state of Alabama going to dedicate into law enforcement of a ban on whether that vape that guy is carrying is loaded or empty?
Well, I don't know, but between arresting the brothers and sisters that are married and then going after these people, they might be busier.
That's West Virginia. That's not Alabama.
Oh, that's Virginia. Oh, I apologize to my Alabama friends.
I was born in West Virginia, by the way. Just saying.
Figures of Mobile stopped by WKRG for an exclusive interview. WKRG News 5's Dana Winter joining us now in the studio to break it down.
Now, Dana is quite attractive.
Shut it.
Basically like alcohol. So anyone who's under the age of 21 is just not allowed to have, in this case, a vaping device. Senator Figures tells.
But that's already the law of the land.
Well, you're in Alabama. Come on.
I mean, I know that a lot of these states, and do you see Vapor? You see Andrew just showed up.
I see that.
I know that these states like to get the press. These politicians like to get the press that comes with getting your name attached to a bill that parents can look at and go, they're protecting our children, Kevin.
We love them.
but actually going to all the trouble and the time and the effort to pass a bill that doesn't change the law that's already the law of the land.
What are you in for? An empty vape pen?
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
So it's already illegal for a vape business to sell a vapor product to someone under the age of 21.
They don't care about that.
So now apparently they've criminalized possession of a vape pen. That's what this sounds like, even if it's empty.
Oh, yeah, well.
So are they going to prosecute these 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds, the adults, the rare number of 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18-year-olds? Are they going to actually prosecute them for possession of a vape pen?
One of the big goals for this bill is to save lives here in Alabama. She says 20% of kids in Alabama schools admit they vape, and
what? Okay, Kevin, look at that screen.
Yeah,
look at it clear. Look at it carefully.
I'm looking.
Now think Alabama as you're reading. As you're reading that, Kevin.
Nicotine? Is that what it is? Yeah, nicotine. Is it 10 or 10-y? I can't help it. I didn't type the fucking thing.
No.
How's that look, Bill?
How am I supposed to say nice things about Alabama? And they can't
Nobody
even
will
spell
notice.
nicotine. They can't even spell nicotine.
Nicotine.
All right, let's keep going here.
She hopes this bill changes that number.
Oh, saving lives. I actually paused it because they said that they're looking to save lives. So if they're going to all the trouble of writing a bill that criminalizes possession of a vape pen, whether it's empty or not, but they don't criminalize the possession of a pack of cigarettes, whether it's empty or not.
No. I was mentioning that later, but yeah, that's fine. Well, that's different.
You know, what are
We're
kids
trying
to
save
do?
lives, Patrick.
What are kids to do if they know that if they get caught with a vape pen that whether it's empty or not,
is that a
if they
vape
get
pen?
caught
No,
with a
it's a
vape
cigarette.
pen, they're gonna catch a charge. But if they got a pack of cigarettes, apparently, you know, they're not going to get a charge.
Well, but they're trying to save lives.
They're going to save lives, and they're going to save their depending on you know, how much master settlement agreement they're getting.
Whose lives
this quarter, the politicians, you know, could be saving some lives. You know, their gardener, you know, their housekeeper. I'm just saying.
But Figures says if caught with a vape device, the minor would not face criminal charges. The purpose of this bill is to raise awareness. Senator.
Okay. So you're wasting time introducing, debating, and passing legislation that somehow makes it illegal to do something that's already illegal.
Well,
but then there's no punishment for doing the illegal thing.
Everybody gets a trophy, Patrick. That's why.
Yeah.
Good job.
Figures says nicotine can have a greater impact on those younger than 21 because at that age, the brain's not yet fully matured.
There you go.
Now, I want you guys to remember that, the mature thing. I want you to remember that because later on, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you a tweet. Actually, the next thing is the tweet. So just keep that in mind. I might have actually put that there.
I got something to say.
When you let the parents know, and then the parents can talk with the child.
So Vivian Davis must be up for re-election soon. So she's.
If they're brain damaged, why are you fucking with them?
So no, she's made this bill about, you know, to save the kids because, you know.
Oh my
God!
That
when she's running for the campaign trail, she's going to say this last section, you know, this last legislative session, I passed legislation to protect your children from the demon nicotine.
Nicotine.
Well, yeah, nicotine.
Get the child the help that they need, and that is the major thing with this bill is to get the attention, spread the word. What a danger this is to the children.
And Senator Figures says the bill's getting bipartisan support. All present 34 senators signed on as co-sponsors today. Up next, the bill heads to the Judiciary Committee, and after that, it goes to the Alabama Senate, then right over to the House. Reporting in the studio, I'm Deanna Winter for WKRG News 5.
So, Mallory's got a question. She says, how many millions did they just waste to pass a bill that does nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
excellent question.
That's
we don't have an answer. You have your tobacco control expert today. Holy shit!
I would say that that's a valid question that I would also like the answer to because it just seems like a make work. Is it just, you know, busy work that the teacher assigns to students? You know.
I guess what I don't understand, and maybe you can help me, Patrick, because you know I need help a lot. If children aren't legally allowed to purchase said product, why would they not educate the children? Don't be looking over your glasses, and then B, they would look, or in that tone of voice, and B, would they not go? Why would they not go after the retailers who are selling that nicotine, that evil nicotine?
Well, that's already the law of the land. That's what the So
this is in addition to the other shit.
Apparently, this is just to raise awareness. That
can you imagine? We're going to pass a law that's going to make you nervous, and you're going to do stuff and we're not going to do a damn thing, but you are going to know about it.
So, hey Kev, sometimes Twitter puts stuff on your Twitter feed.
I didn't do it. Was it me?
That you don't know why it's there.
Yes. I looked into that monetization thing, and thank you, no.
So anyway, every once in a while, Twitter says, look at this. So Twitter said, look at this to a thing, and I saw it, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna start a conversation here.
You're gonna entertain it. All right.
I'm gonna entertain this. I'm gonna talk about this topic.
Okay.
So this is from a guy named Vivek Ramaswamy. And it says that he is a U.S. presidential candidate speaking hard truths. Courage is contagious. That's what it says on his thing.
No, we could be.
So anyway, so I don't know where he's going with this, but anyway, we're not a direct democracy. We are a constitutional republic. We need to revive civic duty among Americans. That's why I'm announcing my support for a constitutional amendment to raise the voting age from 18 to 25, but to still allow 18-year-olds to vote if they either pass the same civics test required of immigrants to become naturalized citizens, or else to perform 6 months of military or first responder service. We must be ambitious. I understand not everyone will like this proposal, and that it will take persuasion to convince many of its merits, but I'm ready to take that on.
Oh boy.
So
where are you going to start? You know what? I'm gonna mute and just let you roll because I already know what's coming. Go ahead.
No, don't mute. I need to bounce shit off of you. But
all right.
So okay.
Expect interruptions.
Okay. So this, I don't know why Twitter put this on my thing and said, "Look at this," but
this hurts my funny bone.
There are multiple things going on. First of all, a constitutional amendment,
right,
would require this bill would have to pass the House, the Senate, the president has to sign it, and then that would have to be ratified by a majority of the states. You can't just make a fucking constitutional amendment. But there is a valid comment to be made about some of the things that he says in this chat or in this tweet. For one thing, Kevin, and every election cycle this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Idiots out there that apparently, Kevin, they no longer teach civics in school. Now, for those young folks out there that have never taken civics class is a class that they used to have back when I was at school, and I'm a 51-year-old man, that taught you how the government works. It explains to you what the legislative branch is, what the judiciary branch is, what the executive branch is. It explains the separations of power. It explains to you what the Electoral College is for and why it is there. It explains to you all of these things. But regardless, every election cycle, this happens every time a presidential election cycle occurs. Idiots on social media will be like, I don't understand. Why is the Electoral College there? Why do we have this? I don't understand. Why? There is a reason.
For them to keep asking.
The founders were way before their time.
Way before their time.
and there's a reason why it's there, and it is to protect the democracy. But anyway, we're going to keep going with this. Now, I actually believe that immigrants that come to our country legally, like my wife, for example, who is now a U.S. citizen, put more effort into learning about our country than people that are born here. I actually think that they should make children take civics in school so that they understand these things. There's a reason why we have American history requirements in school, but these kids forget it. They don't live it. They don't love it. They don't understand it. They don't know why it's important to understand the history of our country and the way we are, why we are. Now, I scrolled through the comments on here, Kevin.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Now,
I could have predicted that part.
If, we're just going to scroll down. So we're going to scroll down.
Before you go down, go back up. Yeah. I'm going to interrupt you. Could you explain to me the difference between a constitutional republic and a democracy? I'm sorry, a direct democracy.
So a pure democracy would be like the ancient Greeks.
Yeah. All right.
So the ancient Greeks, any citizen could go to the forum and participate and argue and vote.
Right.
Any citizen of Greece could do that. Now in America, since there's so many of us and people don't really have the time to go to the state or to the federal capitol and make arguments and stuff, we elect people to represent us.
Right.
So we have chosen candidates and people that we vote on to go to Washington, D.C. and speak for us. Now, technically, it is that representative's duty to actually go and listen and speak to his people so that he understands what his people want. Now, that doesn't necessarily happen frequently, but representatives are required and senators are required to have local office hours. Good night, Victor.
Good night, Victor.
So that his constituents can go and talk to him, right?
Yep.
So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So we are a republic. Do you have another question?
Well,
about this?
Well, you're raising the voting age from 18 to 25, and then there's a comma. If the age of majority is 18, and you have your constitutional rights all along, and suddenly you technically, well, not so fast, Zippy. Sit the fuck back down. Vape your vape pen for a little while until you turn 25. That's where I'm going with that.
Well, let me scroll down. So,
he's not going to win.
Oh, he's definitely not going to win.
Oh my God!
I'm going to scroll down because I actually replied.
I bet you did. I can't imagine how you could have resisted this one at all.
Where did it go? Oh.
Didn't Fig and you and me talk about this 18 to 25 thing? Let's make it 40. Who cares? Fuck it.
That was so long ago, Kevin.
I know, but there it is.
Anyway, let me. I'm going to go to my responses because. So, I just wanted to see. So this has gotten 2,800 retweets, 24,000 likes, Kevin.
Well,
24,000 likes.
Well,
here. This is a reply. No, this.
Hit your profile.
Where did it go? Yeah, there. No, I'm just gonna go there. So this guy says, here. Where did it go? Somebody said, "Hey, where is this arbitrary 25 coming from?" And I said, "Well, it's not arbitrary. According to the nanny state, human brains are not fully developed until 25."
Right.
So, and they use this argument, and I've seen legislation in several states for tobacco and liquor, actually, to raise that drinking age to 25.
Yep.
And I said they use this argument to justify age restrictions for alcohol and nicotine use. If that's the case, 25 should be the age that people drink, vote, smoke, and make other more serious decisions.
There you go. There you go.
So this guy said, is the drinking age 25 in any state? I said, no, but many states are moving to raise, blah, blah, blah. And I said, then this guy says, but you want to have teenagers have access to guns. Now, I don't know where that came from. I didn't say that.
Wow.
But this guy said negative. I believe similarly, every official firearm purchase should have a mandatory week-long background. I don't know where this week-long bullshit comes from. It should just be a thorough background check. FBI level as far as that goes. I mean, I had to have an FBI background check when I became a therapist and I was going to be treating pediatric patients. That's pretty thorough.
Yeah.
So I said, well, you know what? I'm pretty old and your experience may be different. But I took a gun safety class when I was in junior high at school. I have no problem with schools offering or making it mandatory as part of the curriculum.
You just roll right around on that, can't you?
I got no problem with that. I'm a hillbilly, man. When I was in school, we had gun safety classes at school and a gun range at the school, Kevin.
We didn't. I wish we had.
But we also had ROTC guns and,
Yeah.
Those were not actual real firearms.
No,
They were
no.
airsoft, or they weren't airsoft. They were, because they didn't have airsoft when I was a kid. But
Just dummy guns, that's all. How can... Well, if you can vote at 18, you can go into debt, you can do all the adult bullshit. And no,
Kevin.
No.
So apparently they're saying that adult or human brains are not fully developed until they're 25.
That's such bullshit.
Let's accept this. We're gonna do some
Today?
We're gonna do some bullet points here. Okay, so they say that the human brain isn't developed until 25.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy Pelosi during the last campaign run was saying that she felt that kids as young as 15 or 16 should vote.
Right, exactly.
Now, if Nancy Pelosi in one breath says that nicotine will damage the human brain because the human brain is not fully developed until 25, and then for her in the very next in another sentence somewhere else say that she thinks that children,
right,
15 or 16 years old, should be able to vote because they're mature enough to make those types of decisions. Then why are they not allowed to make other serious decisions?
When was the amendment changed from voting from 21? 70?
I don't remember that. I thought 18 was
70.
18. I thought 18 has always been 18.
No, on March 71, the Senate voted 94-0 in favor of proposing a constitutional amendment to guarantee minimum voting age could be not higher than 18. I thought it was 21. It went to 18. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I've been wrong
So
before.
anyway,
You been wrong? I'm wrong.
Anyway, now when you're 18 or 17 with a parent's signature, you can join the military.
Yeah.
You can fly to other parts of the world and throw hot pieces of lead at other people and catch hot pieces of lead from other people.
Yeah. Well,
you can walk down the street and hit an IED and get blown up into many pieces. So you can make the choice to go kill or be killed for your country at 18, which is a very serious decision, Kevin.
Well,
So now you're saying that people that age are not fully developed, and they technically then they shouldn't be able to make the choice.
Well, I disagree with you.
To go put their I'm using their thing as the foundation for this argument, Kevin.
Well,
so they're saying that a 25-year-old is the youngest age where you can make serious decisions.
Yeah.
That you're not smart enough, you're not fully developed enough to make the choices for yourself until you're 25.
Right.
So
correct.
that means that parents should be able to claim up their children on their taxes until they're 25.
At least, right?
And that's whether they're in school or playing video games in the basement.
Correct.
The parents should still be able to claim them until they're 25 because they can't be relied on to make serious decisions for themselves, Kevin.
No.
And they can't have a car.
No. Oh, God.
Because your brain is not fully developed, so it's not safe for you to be on the road driving, Kevin. No. Until you're 25.
Never.
You can't go to the bank and get a credit card because you can't make good choices because your brain is not fully developed.
Why are you filing bankruptcy, Mr. Johnson? Well, I'm only 24, you see, and I made bad decisions because my brain's not fully developed. Oh, well, then we'll just pass this through for you, sir. There you go.
So, I mean, if you believe, and again, I don't know what party this nincompoop, his name is Vivek, so.
Good use of the word nincompoop. We don't use it enough.
I'm not sure. I bet you $10 he's one of the, and as a person that uses the word liberty in the title of my show, I'm afraid that this asshole is going to be some sort of libertarian. I'm opening his profile just so I can see what
I'm going to play off of Mallory. If an 18-year-old, Patrick, does something silly like gets in his car because he's got his license or her license and then drinks illegally and then slaps into and kills a family of 4, is he not liable until he's 25 and he's able to go scot-free because his brain wasn't developed enough not to do those choices that
we do try minors. We do try minors as adults if the crimes that they commit are serious. So since their brain is not fully developed, we cannot hold them accountable for those horrible things that they do.
Oh, if I could go back now. Oh, some of the.
I'm actually on this guy Vivek's website. I'm trying to figure out what party he's affiliated with.
Well,
it doesn't say.
Yeah.
He seems quite right wing. He was speaking. There's video of him here speaking at the NRA.
No. Well, Jeremy will be 25 in July. So do we have like your brain is fully developed party? I'm
going to have to reach out to this guy and invite him to come on the show.
Sure. Why not?
He is a throat surgeon.
Okay.
And assistant professor at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Oh, God.
So there would be some overlap. So we could question him on what he thinks about vaping.
Sure. Why not? Ohio State or what is it? Ohio University?
Ohio State, yeah.
Ohio State. All right.
Yeah. So it says here he founded Strive, an Ohio-based asset management firm that directly competes with asset managers like BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and others. So I'm wondering if they are competing with BlackRock based on philosophy. BlackRock is one of these big funders for what they call ESG, which is environmental social governance. When Obama was president, I'll get a little political here for you guys. When Obama was president, he passed they passed a law or a bill that would allow asset managers to, instead of basing their choices on managing their fund on whether or not they can make money, they're allowed to make choices on where they invest your money based on social issues like environment, equity, inclusiveness, all those things. And they've cost investors billions of dollars. But since it's legal for them, because prior to this, it was required by law, you had a fiduciary duty to your investors to make choices based on profit.
Money, period.
But since the ESG was introduced, they can make choices based on whether the company recycles, whether the company is good for the environment, whether they have a certain percentage of black or brown or green or purple people that work there, and not based on whether or not the fund or the investment will make money. Now, during Trump, he vetoed it. He got rid of it. But then one of the very first things on day one that Biden did when he was reelected was he reinstituted the ESG protections for these fund managers. So when your 401k is shrinking, it's not based on it is based on bad investments that the fund managers have chosen, but some of them are immune to prosecution because of this ESG language that was included. But like I said, it doesn't say anywhere on his website what party he's affiliated with. So I'm looking at some of the things that he's retweeting and stuff. He seems quite far right. Like he's retweeting stuff from Epic Times, which is a very far right news source, and they are quite anti-vaping, so we don't like them.
They had a point.
All right, so a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the prohibition in Australia, we presented an article that had testimonials and comments from Australians who said if they ban my vaping, I'm going to go back to smoking. But we have a new article this week that's not, I don't believe is Australia specific. This is Irish, actually, from the Journal. And it says here, banning vaping will just lead to more smokers. Experts have told the Journal that Ireland should not follow Australia in banning the products. Ireland should not completely ban the sale of e-cigarettes or vapes, but there could be more regulation when it comes to who can purchase them, experts have told the Journal. It comes after Australia announced it will ban recreational vaping, with e-cigarettes no longer being sold in general and convenience stores. The country's government will increase the product standards for vaping, including by restricting flavors and colors in order to tackle the growing black market. It will also require... What?
Oh, I see what they did. Recreational. I asked that last week. I said, does anybody know what recreational vaping is? It will also require pharmaceutical-like packaging, a reduction in the maximum allowed nicotine concentrations and volumes, and ban on single-use vapes. In Ireland, these devices are about the size and shape of a highlighter and are sold with liquid nicotine already inside them. There's currently no mandatory age restriction on the sale and marketing of e-cigarettes in Ireland. However, a bill that proposes banning the sale and purchase of e-cigarettes by anyone under the age of 18 will be published in the coming weeks. While it says it will continue to review new studies, HSE does not currently recommend vaping as a method to quit smoking. It says that based on evidence thus far, it is found to be less useful for smoking cessation than nicotine patches or gums. That's a lie. Well, it depends on where you look as to what you'll find. So there you are. Imagine that.
There are also no e-cigarettes on the market in Ireland authorized by the Health Products regulatory authority as a medication for smoking cessation. However, the NHS in UK does recognize e-cigarettes as an aid to smoking cessation. Although it does not prescribe them, it states that nicotine vaping is substantially less harmful than smoking and is one of the most effective tools for quitting smoking. I thought that Australia was invaded by Britain and stuff. My grandmother used to write a check to the IRA every year. And I'm not joking.
Ooh.
As she got senile and the IRA dissolved, my aunt had to intercept my grandmother's check that she would write every year.
Wow.
But anyway, a GP specializing in addiction medicine told the Journal that he believes that Australia's move to ban the sale of e-cigarettes is totally counterproductive. Smoke safer than smoking. Dr. Garrett McGovern, who is also the HSE clinical lead on addiction, said the ban in Australia is going to reduce the uptake of people vaping. There are people in my position who believe that that's a good thing. They've not really bought into the idea of vaping. I'm not one of those people. Vaping is immeasurably safer than smoking, and we really need to continue with our strategy of trying to get Ireland as close as we can to a smoke-free place. I believe vaping has a role, as do nicotine replacement therapies, as does counseling and all sorts of other interventions. I think we're going to do something, or I think if we're going to do anything in Ireland, we've got to look at how many people are vaping. The vast majority of people using these devices are actually smokers trying to quit. So we should applaud those, and we shouldn't put barriers in the way. See, the Irish people are very smart, Kevin.
Do you follow Dr. McGovern?
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. McGovern said he is in favor of restrictions being put in place, such as age restriction on purchasing e-cigarettes, which he said should have happened a long time ago. Any place that sells them where they are very enticing and very colorful in terms of sweets and that sort of thing is wrong. We need to tighten up on that aspect. But he added that if we go down a road that is going to make it more difficult to access them, we're going to have more smokers. I'm not going to read the next thing because it's just basically an explanation of what vaping is. The Irish Cancer Society has said that while e-cigarettes are less harmful than combustible cigarettes, health risks remain. At least they've actually admitted that. In a statement on their website, it says there is not enough evidence e-cigarettes are effective quit aid for smokers, while other methods such as nicotine replacement, blah, 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 blah. 6%, Kevin. 6%. There's still a lot left to this article. The links to this article are in the show notes. Go read it yourselves. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Unless you're under 25, then we'll make an exception.
No, their brains are not developed enough. They probably can't read, Kevin.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Yeah.
I threw the good doctor's
yes
thing in there, Mr. McGovern or Dr. McGovern. For those of you who want to, I would. It's up to you. Since your brains are developed, you can make
bullshit.
A choice. Which part?
Well, the next article that I was going to read, let me read it earlier.
Yeah.
Now it's paywalled.
Which is the confusion?
Yeah.
Convenience store UK. Let me see here.
But it is very similar to the one I read a while ago about half British smokers believing the vapes are more harmful than smoking.
Yep, some more. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's related. Yeah, it's definitely related. Dr. P.
Yeah. We won't read that one. So, now we did Alabama.
Yeah,
we're gonna do Louisiana in a minute, but this next video piece is actually in my county in Texas. And I'm very disturbed.
Well, in addition to this, yeah, we know.
I'm perturbed.
Ooh,
I'm perturbed because it's not good. Yeah, here, let's watch this.
Showing up in court. One local judge is hoping that more children will learn early on the dangers of things like vaping.
Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, Joe Benavidez, is tackling the health issue by sponsoring a poster and essay contest for
a poster and essay contest, Kevin.
We need more of those.
Children to highlight those dangers and hopefully even influence the older children. You can take a look here. It was a packed court today.
As local elected officials got a chance to talk with children and their parents in attendance who were court-ordered to be there, but also to congratulate the students.
Now, some of the students were there because they were court-ordered to be there, Kevin.
Who placed in the poster and essay contest like Windsor Park Elementary first grader Kimia Khan, who proudly took home third place.
When my mommy was little, tobacco companies, they used cartoons like Joe Camel to advertise kids and grown-ups. And also what's funny about it is it also advertised kids to play the piano because he's playing the piano while he's smoking, doesn't have any notes in front of him, just looking randomly at wherever he's at.
But most important is he.
Now, I'm not going to say anything negative about that cute little girl.
Except that
she's been brainwashed by her parents or by these people. But
where are all the piano players?
She thought it was funny that Joe Camel was playing a piano.
But we don't have any piano players.
The training on making definitely sure these kids, these parents understand the very, very harmful effects of vaping.
Now, I need to talk to this man about the very, very harmful effects of vaping.
Benavidez told 3 News that he sees around 50 kids from different school districts in his courtroom for vaping offenses. But you know what? Great job by the students who participated in the poster and essay contest. You never know just who you might influence.
That's right.
That's indoctrination, Kevin.
No. Really? No. Well, you know, when they're under 25, Patrick, I've heard that their brains are susceptible to many things. And then, you know, they do stuff that they really wouldn't otherwise do because they don't know any better. So they just nod and agree in unison to pleasure their parents or their teachers. That way they can move on with their day without getting yelled at. That's why. That's my opinion.
But teachers don't even yell at kids anymore. They don't beat them. They don't take them in the hallway and paddle them. That, you know.
But it's a possibility. Don't you make me mad? Don't you make me come over there now?
They're not even allowed to threaten anymore. They're not allowed to touch a kid.
Well, yeah, dig to differ that they don't.
Well, they're not allowed to, but we know that 10% of them do.
They'll show us.
Louisiana lawmakers look at taxing vape e-cigarettes for trooper raises.
Well, because some of them got to get those pens and then they magically go in their mouths and they need the money. That's why. Because
that was Texas. This is Louisiana.
Yeah, well.
There has been a debate over the last few years on whether e-cigarettes or vaping is better for you than traditional cigarettes. There's no debate there. I mean, anybody that actually can read the science. Anyway, one criticism of vaping is that with the different flavors available, like birthday cake and cherry and bubble gum, and Addie's one of the purveyors of this birthday cake thing because he sent me. He sent me
birthday cake?
A recipe for birthday cake e-liquid.
That evil person.
That sadly I could not make because I did not have any of those flavors.
Oh.
None of them.
Oh.
Anyway, it could be said that manufacturers are targeting the youth market.
No.
Now, I would assume since Addie has a birthday cake recipe that he likes birthday cake, and I've actually seen Addie, and he is not a child.
I don't. I was going to say I thought adults don't like flavors. Stop confusing me.
Now, according to a story at tobaccofreekids.org.
Well,
okay. Here's some bullet points here.
Somebody
Kids
under
aren't
arrest.
just experimenting with e-cigarettes. Many are using these products most days of every week, a sure sign they're becoming addicted.
How appropriate that the Mike's Hard Liquor's floating around while you read it.
Yep. In 2021, 46% of high school e-cigarette users vaped on at least 20 days a month, and 30.1% reported vaping every day.
I have a question.
What?
Earlier you said that the kids don't have brain development until they're 25. Is that?
I didn't say that. I said they say that.
Okay, but then since they say that, how do the numbers that they're given by the kids that brains aren't developed until they're 25? That seems a little odd.
If that's self-reporting, how can we trust anything they say? Their brains are not fully developed yet, Kevin.
I don't know. I've asked this question 100 times. Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Flavored products are driving youth use. In fact, 85% of youth e-cigarette users use flavored products. I would say 100% of all kids that vape are vaping flavored vape products, because if they were unflavored, it would just be PG, VG, and nicotine, and it would taste like nothing but a little sweetness. VG has a little sweetness to it.
It is a little sweet. I tried it. It's good.
Actually, at one point about 5 or 6 years ago, we talked to one of the largest commercial e-liquid manufacturers in the world, and they said that 40% of the liquid they sell is unflavored.
Wow.
That was a few years ago. I will not name the company, but they are very large. Anyway, flavored products are driving blah, blah, blah. In fact, 85% blah, 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 with fruit, candy, desserts, other sweets, mint, menthol reported as the most popular flavors. Again, all e-liquids are flavored unless they say unflavored, whether that's tobacco flavored or birthday cake flavored.
Mallory's checking on the numbers. 5-star.
Kids have shifted dramatically to disposable and menthol e-cigarettes, two categories of products that were left on the market under current federal restrictions. These shifts show that the only way to end this crisis is to eliminate all flavored e-cigarettes. And see, Addie says he uses unflavored to stealth vape at work. See? So, vaping versus traditional cigarettes, Kevin. Tobacco cigarettes contain thousands of harmful chemicals, many of which are known to be carcinogenic, cancer-causing, and toxic to the body. They are the leading cause of preventable diseases and premature death worldwide. Vaping, on the other hand, involves inhaling an aerosol, commonly referred to as vapor, produced by heating a liquid containing nicotine, flavorings, and other chemicals. While the aerosol from vaping is generally considered to have fewer toxic chemicals compared to tobacco smoke, it is not harmful substances. Nicotine, which is present in both tobacco cigarettes and e-cigarettes, to be addictive substance with negative health effects, particularly to developing brains of adolescents and young adults. See the 25-year thing, Kevin? That lets them justify the young adults.
Well, yeah.
Additionally, there have been cases of severe lung injury associated with vaping. Although these instances are relatively rare, the long-term effects of vaping on lung health are still being investigated, and it is unclear whether there may be other long-terms that have not been fully identified.
Well, sure.
One of the long-term effects is you might start to look like Kevin.
How did this get to
scary.
taxing though? For true
Toxic.
True.
But much like AI, it seems vaping is here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. The House Ways and Means Committee is looking to capitalize on the popularity of vaping and e-cigarettes with new legislation to increase taxes on vapor products and electronic cigarettes, dedicating the first $22 million raised annually for raises for state police.
They're wonderful.
Beautiful. Not on addiction education, not on harm reduction, not on anything for public health. And God forbid, those state troopers probably do deserve a raise.
I bet they do.
I am a
but
huge
you ain't getting
supporter
more people vape.
of LEOs or Leos, but I don't believe that they're going to get $22 million as the federal government continues to ban and reduce availability of some vaping products.
Well,
but this is one of the most important bills I've ever brought to this body, and let me tell you why. The dedication goes to state police. If we're going to put a tax on something, to me, vape is an ideal place to put this tax. Covington Representative Paul Hollis.
Makes a justification for it. So if they're going to regulate, restrict, and ban stuff, the only way that's going to change is when they can tax this stuff. And when they tax it, it's going to be less harmful. And it's a good thing because we can take the money and pay the troopers.
Yeah. So
there you are.
This, in the past, Kevin, there have been some people that would have said, well, let's let them legitimize us by putting a tax on us. And my argument was, and always shall be, it takes an act of Congress to pass a tax. To increase a tax, all it is a line item on a budget. Once the tax exists, they can raise or lower. They can raise the tax without passing new legislation.
Can you name an instance where they've taken away the tax once they've instigated the? Oh, are you sure? Because I've said no tax and people have said, no, you fucker. I want them to tell us that we can fuck off. No taxes.
Anybody that believes that a tax will legitimize vaping is got their head so far up their ass or up somebody else's ass. Because look at here, right here, with Hollis's legislation, the current tax of 5 cents per milliliter of consumable nicotine solution would increase to 30 cents per milliliter. Now, if you pull your calculator out, Kevin, and you multiply that, say, by a 30 mil bottle.
What is it? 50
so 30 cents times 30 mils. What does that come out to? About $9?
$9.
$9. So that means that the tax on your 30 mil bottle of e-liquid, which nobody buys 30 mil bottles of e-liquid anymore. For those of you that haven't seen one in a while, this is a 30 mil bottle of e-liquid.
I think this is, I don't remember, 50. It might be 50.
This is a 30 mil bottle of e-liquid. When I mix e-liquid, I make 180 mils, which is 3 of these bottles. When I make a batch of e-liquid, it's 3. So if I did 180 times 30 cents, Kevin, it would be
180
times 30.
180, 180 times 30. I can do that math. 5400, $54. So I'm going to do
$54 in tax.
I'm going to do an I love me moment. I love you and I love me moment for you and me. We're going to advertise ourselves for a change. These two chuckleheads on the screen don't buy e-liquid very often. Now, Patrick, I know has and does, and I have on occasion.
I have.
I've been thankful for.
I didn't buy this, but this was the last actual commercially made product that was that is in my house.
Not the.
Did you get one too?
No, I didn't get that one. That's not the same one.
Oh,
it's similar. It's thinner and blacker, but Somebody in the room, in fact, I've had people send me things and very gracious about that, grateful rather. But we're talking about don't tax this shit, and we don't have to get taxed because you shouldn't be taxed for doing what you do to save your own freaking life.
Here, I'm gonna pull this off screen for a second, Kevin, and make us bigger so that people can understand. If we were to agree to a tax other than regular sales tax, all consumable products, customer products are taxed and should be taxed because that's the nature of capitalism and the way our system works. If we were to agree to a tax in addition to that, then we would be agreeing to a sin tax.
Correct.
Now, a sin tax is something that they add to a product that may be or is harmful. Alcohol, tobacco, those are sins, gambling, whatever.
Tisk things that you bad people.
Those are taxes that we agree to because these products are harmful to society.
And the children,
if
course.
You agree to a tax to lend some sort of credibility to vaping, you are agreeing that this product is a sin because it is harmful to society.
In any form.
It's not.
Oh my God, it's not.
I mean, people agreed to a tax on marijuana so that they could legalize it. But now you're also agreeing that this product that you praise and you say is a medicine and it will make you better and is awesome, is a miracle, it's a sin. You're paying an additional tax on something that you claim is a miracle, but you're agreeing silently that is a sin. I will not ever agree to a tax on a product that I know is a miracle and should be heralded as a miracle because you'll never, ever get the tax to go away.
You know how you could replace that tax you want to put on me? You could go after the people that are selling this shit illegally.
Yeah.
Find them motherfuckers. That's exactly. Jinx!
Pin Spoke, you owe me a Coke.
Oh my fucking word! No,
all of so here's a quote here by here's a quote. All of our bordering states pay more than we pay. I've lost troopers to Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee, and some to local agencies that are paying more than we pay. And I said a while ago, I believe that the state troopers probably do deserve a raise, but not at the cost of chasing people away from a safer alternative to smoking.
You know what I say to what he just said? I say you should have already figured out a way to pay them fucking people if they're that good.
Well, Louisiana is one of the most corrupt governments in the United States. I'm not going to, I've lived there. I don't
know.
Currently, the average salary for a Louisiana state trooper is nearly $51,000 after their first year. With the current climate of animosity towards police and increasing crime and mass shootings, Davis urges lawmakers to consider the sacrifices officers make on a daily basis. I'm asking that we consider the dangers and we pay them appropriately. And I will be the first to tell you we probably can't pay them enough. Well, if you take a pay cut and you quit wasting money on stuff that you don't need, you would be able to pay those guys more money.
It's like you're singing in a symphony. Why? Can't figure this bullshit out yourselves. You got to balance your checkbook, yeah?
I don't write checks, Kevin.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I don't spend money that I don't have.
It's a tried and true thing with me that, well, Jesus, that says almost zero. I guess you're not getting paid.
I don't even have a credit card.
Yeah. No, I don't either.
I have a debit card, but I don't have a credit card. I don't believe it. I was taught that if you, and I have lots of friends who rob Peter to pay Paul every month to pay their fucking credit card bills because they're paying minimum payments on credit card bills. And and they never dig themselves out of a hole.
Right.
So, and I used to be so poor that I could never, I was never going to be able to get my wife, she's a credit card fiend, but she also makes 4 times as much money as me, and she pays them off every month.
Right.
Except for the Best Buy card. Now, I've used her Best Buy card. But they have
Mallory,
18 months, same as cash financing on the if you're buying computers or cell phones and things like that.
Mallory, I'm going to play off of your comment. If we agree to that and others want it for us, who's next? What's next? What exactly is it there? I mean, Starbucks, you could tax a whole lot of Starbucks shit for this sin bullshit.
Motherfucker,
but that's caffeine.
Let me put my foot on your throat on that one.
Depends on
we're
who's
not
mother.
taxing. We're not taxing coffee.
Why
period.
Who's next? What's next? You're next.
Dude,
I'm not saying if you buy it at the store. I'm saying if you're going to the local Chuck and Puke and you're picking up a coffee, that you should be taxed. You should be taxed 80%.
We actually have a fast food tax here.
Oh, do you really? Oh, shit.
It's 3 cents more than regular sales tax.
Wow.
Lots of states have fast food taxes. Lots of local governments have fast food taxes as well.
We have an eat-in tax. We don't have a fast food tax per se.
Well, they don't apply. No, they don't apply. They don't apply it to sit-down restaurants. They apply it to drive-through type restaurants.
So sad. Sinner.
Yeah.
Oh, you enjoy food, you fuckers.
None of that fast food tax money actually gets spent to educate people on obesity and cholesterol and things like that.
Do you think Bloomberg actually had an education sector in his fucking government when he was? We're going to ban 32 ounces. You can buy 2 16 ounces, but we're going to ban 32 ounce fucking sodas. Mm-hmm. What is wrong with you fucking idiots? Let's make sure we elect him again. He did real well.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Has been declared on vaping. The federal government is banning their sale from November. They'll only be available with a prescription. It's a world first and an overdue crackdown. But is it enough? And who will police it?
And who?
Why would she say it's an overdue? It's not her opinion to give.
Because this is the new news. Now, previously the media, the news, they just gave you information, Kevin, but now it's incumbent upon them to give their opinion now. Yes.
School Principal Christine DeGarlo is the Deputy President of the Secondary Principals Council in New South Wales and joins me now. Christine, really appreciate your time. What do you make of today's announcement?
It's really great that the federal government has decided to take steps to try and curb it. We have been aware of this major problem, an exponentially growing problem, for at least the last 3 years. They are very, very dangerous products for our...
Very, very dangerous, people. Very, two varies. Not just very, very, very dangerous.
Teenagers and young children. And anything that's being done to help curb their use and to educate people about the dangers of them can only be a positive thing.
Christine, I've got friends who've got kids who are 13 and 14 and their kids are vaping. The parents are beside themselves. How widespread is the problem in our schools?
There has been research done that in some schools, 80% of students are vaping. There is evidence...
80%.
Hey! Stop it! Stop it!
That's a lie.
Evidence from the research that primary school students down to kindergarten children are vaping.
Kindergarten.
Are you crazy?
Now if a kindergartner is getting their hands on the vaping product, that's a serious problem, and parents should be punished.
They are vaping at school, they're vaping outside of school, they may have them in their bedroom drawers at home and
Now, what a child does away from the school is not your concern. It's not your business. You're a school teacher.
Vaping at home, it's become exponentially a really serious problem. And it's across the whole state. You know, you look back 3 years when it first became a problem here, and it was very much a eastern seaboard centred around Sydney problem, but it has spread across the whole state.
Does that scare the hell out of you, that so many kids and kids who are incredibly young have taken this up?
It's very scary, Ali. Anything that affects the health and the well-being of our young people certainly affects all teachers and all principals, and we care very much about it. But I think society and the community has been a bit slow on the uptake to understanding how dangerous vapes are.
Christine, as a principal, you noticed this becoming a really serious problem about 3 years ago. What did you do?
We straight away got onto finding out as much information as we could so that we could educate our students about the chemicals that are actually in vapes and how dangerous and addictive they are. We educated parents and had forums for parents.
So with your school, there was an information campaign. What did you then do if you did catch a kid with a vape?
Nothing.
It was a very serious matter, and 3 years ago, any students who had vapes were suspended.
So is vaping still a problem at your school?
No, it's not, and I'm certainly not going to say that nobody is vaping. That would be ridiculous.
It's not a problem anymore because we solved it. Everybody needs to do what we do, which is nothing.
To say that, but it's certainly a minor problem because we have been really proactive about it for the last 3 years.
I mean, you have to applaud the government today for taking this tough stance because the problem's out of control, but of the nearly $250 million committed, nothing goes towards policing the problem. Can you see that being an issue?
I certainly do see it as an issue unless there are enough police and health officers to be able to go and approach these retailers and get these products off the street and off the market. It's certainly not going to be enough.
Are you worried it's going to fall to principals like yourself and teachers to play cop?
To do their job?
It's often the way in our community that when we have societal problems, that it gets dumped or lumped on schools and the school curriculum to educate our students and to help solve the problem. And
doesn't the federal government give you money to do this? To teach children? Isn't that what your job is?
We will certainly do that, but we certainly can't stop students vaping unless they understand the problems and the danger in using vapes. It's highly addictive. And in schools we are seeing...
Kevin, you know what's really addictive?
Money, funding.
Air.
Well, air
Water.
is, well, I do like air.
If I don't have air, I'm going to die, Kevin. I have to have it.
I know.
If I don't drink water every once in a while, I'm going to dehydrate. I'm going to die. I need it.
But air could kill you. So could H2O.
But we're addicted to those things, but they're harmless.
But
so what's the harm in being addicted to something that is harmless?
Negative changes in student behaviour of students who have become addicted to these vapes because they are so addicted to them, they're so desperate to have the next one or get money to have the next one, that students have become more aggressive, more agitated, less cooperative, less engaged with their schoolwork. And we see the problems in it, and we have seen it for the last couple of years.
Are you confident that what we've heard today will make a difference?
I'm really hopeful that it will make some difference, but part of it, as you identified, needs to be that there is a real border control and policing that these millions of vapes don't come into the country as easily as they have been able to.
While they're available.
We're going to have to stop this massive black market from, we're going to have to figure out a way to get rid of it. Black markets are easy to get rid of, Kevin.
Well, they should look at the U.S.-Mexican relations with. I'm just.
They need to build a wall. That's what they need to build a wall around their island.
I wasn't even going there. I was just thinking how well the U.S. has done to keep anything from marijuana to OxyContin out of our world over here where we don't want it.
Very easily.
It's what?
Illegal products don't come into our country, Kevin.
No.
Never.
No, there's no. In fact, I was promised there would be no black market. So I don't know.
We're gonna, here, the girl here at the very beginning. Let's watch this.
A war has been declared on vaping.
A war on vaping. I bet you that's just like a war on drugs.
I think it is. It's similar.
That's going to be extremely successful.
Just say no, Patrick. Can't you just say no? What's wrong with you?
Hands on them. We know that much. And Christine, we really appreciate your time tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ali.
You're welcome. You fucking retard.
Now, that's not nice, Kevin.
What? I know. I apologize.
That's not nice. It's not like we called her a stupid whore or
lying whore. Lying.
Yeah,
lying.
That's not nice to say.
Stupid,
retarded. That's not nice.
I didn't see where it says we have to be politically correct anywhere in my contract.
That's not politically correct. That's just rude.
I'm sorry I didn't use the line.
We do value manners on this show. Just saying.
How valuable are they though?
Where I come from in an armed society, good manners is life or death here.
Yeah. Well, lying whore, that's not too bad.
No, because we laugh about lying whores. But here, let me pre-rub this. Let's rub this. Okay. All right. Oh. I'm going to present this to you, Kevin.
All right. I'm ready. I didn't look at the notes.
This is from the UK. 2 private schoolboys hospitalized after suffering a severe reaction to vape. Just days after government's new crackdown on the public health menace.
It's ironic.
2 students hospitalized after using vape. Both had severe reactions to the product, spent the night in the hospital, but now released. Oh, no, this is not the UK. This is Australia. 2 teen boys have been rushed from their school to hospital after experiencing severe reaction to a vape. The students from East Melbourne's Whitefriars College used the vape on Friday before being taken to nearby Box Hill Hospital after suffering the adverse reactions at 2 separate points throughout the day. 2 separate ambulances were called after the first boy fell ill at 9 a.m. and the other at about 12:50 p.m.
Yeah.
They both recovered after being monitored overnight and were discharged on Saturday morning. The independent Catholic school's principal, Mark Murphy, emailed parents and guardians in the following day to say the incident had been reported to Victoria Police and was being investigated. Both students were provided with first aid by a healthcare center team and other college staff. Mr. Murphy's email reads, they were also assessed and taken to the hospital by paramedics from Ambulance Victoria. Fortunately, both students have since recovered and have been discharged from hospital. Mr. Murphy claimed the school had implemented measures to help curb the use of vapes by students, including educational measures and environmental sensors in the student amenities. That means bathroom, Kevin. We ensure that our young men have a clear understanding of the law in Victoria as it relates to vaping, he wrote. As a school community, we need to continue to work in partnership to educate our young men, and we encourage all families to engage in conversations with their sons about the dangers of the use of these types of products and to keep them safe. Now, it says here, the Herald Sun, which is not this newspaper, but a different newspaper, reports that the vape could have been laced with synthetic cannabis.
But
Well,
that's legal,
that's
isn't it?
That's the very last sentence. That's the very last sentence of an article that seemed like it was regular old vape pen, Kevin.
Huh. Well, I can't imagine how they... I don't understand. Maybe Simon could tell
Well,
us.
you know, kids, you don't know this, but kids actually are immediately taught how to be in the black market in Australia because, again, it is a country of convicts. Just saying.
You know, I noticed yesterday afternoon that Logan
in
has
New Orleans,
shifty eyes.
I was taught immediately how to break into cars when I was in the first grade. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Where is my hand? This one here. He's got shifty eyes. I said I got my eyes on you, and he did it right back.
I wasn't.
He did it right back to me.
Because that is your grandchild, but I have seen the shifty eyes.
He did this right back to me, Patrick, and now I'm very concerned of my safety and well-being of being around him. In fact, I think
you might wake up with a horse's head in the bed.
He's not quite 5 yet. I think he's been vaping already, though. I can't tell.
Well, he does see Grandpa doing it, and I don't know because if Grandpa does it, it can't possibly be cool.
Grandpa's not cool.
That's definitely true. Now here's an article or a story or whatever from Dubai, Kevin. Dubai.
It's a story is a good
blood
word.
pressure causes increased risk of heart attack. It affects your brain functioning. So vaping is very popular nowadays as a safe alternative to smoking, and it is even marketed as a safe method to quit smoking because it contains only nicotine, not the tobacco or smoke. It is a misconception that vaping is safe. It comes with its own various potential health risks. Nicotine, which is a major component in vaping, is highly addictive. It increases your heart rate. It increases...
Kevin, is your blood pressure up?
Well, you know, if Janice comes in and she's starting to yell at me, my blood pressure goes up and my heart rate increases.
They need to ban wives yelling at husbands. Is that
that's my assumption. I don't know. It's highly addictive.
Blood pressure causes increased risk of heart attack.
You see? There you go.
Now, Kev,
what?
I seem to remember doing a story like maybe 5-6 weeks ago in the article of cardiovascular, the Journal of Cardiovascular Health, where they did a study on people that smoked, people that vaped, and people that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And you do remember that it said that there was no difference between the statistics of heart attacks between people that exclusively vape and the people that don't do anything. Remember that? I remember that.
Let me get my cue card out here.
I remember that.
This was the number, if I recall.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
0.
I was just checking. I didn't want to make the audience too bored tonight. I wanted to add a little, flavor.
Little audio. You used to have little signs that you held up all the time.
I got them. I still got them.
Okay. I haven't seen them in a long time, so.
Well, we don't.
Various lung conditions like chronic bronchitis, coughing, wheezing, throat irritation. It affects your brain.
Now, I would say that I have had a little bit of a cough tonight, and I've sneezed once.
I'm concerned. You got the name that shall be
Maybe,
nameless.
maybe. No, I don't. I don't have a fever. I actually
don't say it.
I think the AC, because we had the AC repaired, and now it's actually much colder in this house than it normally is.
So you're getting the keebie-jeebie thing going.
I think I got the AC sniffles.
Yeah, I've had those. My brother Patrick told me when I met with him, we talked about that thing, and he said, "Nope, not till March." And it wasn't like, serious, but according to him, it was, because his wife said, "Is it a headache like I get a headache, or a headache like you get a headache?" And it was a headache like he got one. So there you go. It was that kind of. It was like a man headache, Anyway, good.
So now you're saying that there's male headaches and female headaches. Are there non-binary headaches and trans headaches too?
I don't know, but when she's sick, she's actually sick, was the inferring remark, I guess is the word. And when he's sick, he's really not sick. It's just man sick. I guess
No, I'm not allowed to be sick. So even when I am sick, I'm not sick.
Right. Yeah. No.
Because I was taught that you play hurt.
You got, well, yeah.
So
something.
I don't, unless I'm bleeding out of the eye sockets, I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Brain functioning. So people who want to quit smoking, who go for vaping, they take up more nicotine into their body per day than when they vape. So eventually they became addicts of vaping and then become smoker again.
Now.
The gateway is.
Now, I thought Dubai had the best of everything. I mean, literally, like that's the claim to fame of Dubai. Dubai has like half of the Guinness Book of World Records are Dubai. Like Dubai has like all the best shit.
Brilliance, yeah.
And
I believe you.
And this is a doctor in Dubai. I mean,
well,
you and I could. We've said here and debunked literally everything that she said. Everything that she said, we've
should
debunked.
take their screen.
Neither one of us are doctors, but right here where she says that people that vape take up more nicotine into their body than when they smoke, that's absolutely a lie. Charlie Gardner tweeted like last week a tweet about this, about how people that vape are actually not inhaling as much nicotine as they did when they were smokers.
Right.
I don't have a link to that right now, but if I go and if I sift through Charlie's tweets, I could find it. I'm not going to do that right now, but go and sift through Charlie's tweets and find it for yourselves.
Body per day than when they vape. So eventually they became addicts of vaping and then become smoker again.
There's the gateway that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Many high school students and teenagers end up vaping because they are not aware how harmful vaping is.
Now, if she says bird watching, we're going to have to smack her.
So if you are already a vapor and you want to quit, it is possible. You have to have a strong willpower and determination to quit vaping. You should communicate with your family, friends, your doctors to take guidance and help from them. So say no to vaping, no to smoking. The sooner you quit, the quicker your body can rebound and repair itself.
How about that? So if we took each of those little blue cards and we answered the same exact fucking statement or question, how come two chuckleheads, you keep nodding your friggin' head at me, how come two chuckleheads know better? I don't understand.
We must be doctors. We should apply to
Can
get
you steal a white coat
a real
from your
world,
wife?
a real world equivalent PhD of vaping. We should.
Can you steal a white coat from your wife? Does she have white coats?
We could. I have white coats.
Well, then send me a fucking white coat and
I have a
we'll
lab
take them
coat.
blue things.
No, my lab coat
need
was going to be it's going to be loose on you.
You gotta put smart ass on it or something. You know, make it look really.
I have a Sharpie. I can write smart ass.
And then we will. I've got to go find me a fucking lab coat and make a video. I gotta go. I wonder if Goodwill's open right now. I don't think they are.
I doubt it. It is probably in the 12:30 range for you.
It ain't early. Logan, he's like, I got my eyes on you. Little fucker wouldn't let me have any of his vape either. He's not even 5.
He's not even in kindergarten yet, Kevin.
Oh my god, kindergarten.
Ahead of the curve. He's ahead of the curve. What the hell is this Jamie Foxx is trending? Is he dying or something?
Oh, fuck, who knows? He's not trending here, so who cares?
He was in the hospital for something, apparently.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah. I like Jamie Foxx. I don't know why he was in the hospital. He was in the hospital.
Kevin Hart's coming to Dayton, Ohio. Believe that? Kevin Hart.
Oh, he's the little short guy, right?
Yeah. I don't think he's ever been here. Janice won't go anyways.
Wait, she can't laugh? She doesn't like humor?
Well, crowds, me, people. See how I put me in the middle? I didn't want to be the first name. She'll be in the car before we see him. I did take her to Alabama three years ago. 2019. Had to be 2019.
I thought Alabama retired.
They did. Hey, Robert. How you doing?
My name is Robert. I'm 62. I smoked for 43 years. After many quit attempts, found vaping 10 years ago. Stopped smoking that day. Cherry flavor helped me quit. Vaping saved my life. Good going, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Was
that the Southern Vapor prompt?
It is in reply to Southern Vapor. Yes.
That account. She. I can't remember this hashtag. There's a hashtag she's using anyway.
Well, Old Fart Vaping was one of them.
Yeah, and she added another.
The Southern Vapor one is "We Quit with Vape." Hashtag We Quit with Vape.
Yeah. So she's kind of like Cherry, who I love and adore and miss. She kind of appeared, out of the blue.
Yeah, I like it when people appear out of the blue.
I do too. I really do. Just because it's unsolicited information, like everybody in the room who just tells what they know. That's all.
Yeah. I think Out of the Blue is way better than 2 in the Pink and 1 in the Stink. I'm just what I'm saying.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Out of the Blue.
Now, just for fun, I'm going to ask you a dumb question. And I know you're used to it, but I like to warn you in advance. Have you ever heard the term, hey, Steve, have you ever heard the term cutie patootie?
Yes.
Janice said I'm crazy. She's never heard that. I said, I've called you that half of our marriage. But, it was the first half. But
maybe she's just really trying to block that out.
That's what I was thinking. 31 years back.
It could be that there's a traumatic block right there. She's just trying to.
Well, the good part about the kids being gone is the kids are gone. The bad part is that I get blamed for everything now. Everything.
You said that last week too.
Just making sure everybody's clear.
Now, how are the boys? Have they been coming home to get their mom to do their laundry or?
No, they've been doing their own laundry for quite a few years. They were required to learn that. I washed my own work clothes for years. I didn't make her do that. I just did it. It didn't matter because I wanted it done when I wanted it done, and she was started keeping up with it. Now, they have come back for laundry to do themselves. Dustin will, on occasion, because he walks by, will stop and use the laboratory. He's up to like $9 he owes us now. And Jeremy, believe it or not, is moving again next Wednesday because there are some serious issues with the home that he's in that are unnecessarily bad. So he's already got approved, and he's moving next Wednesday, not Friday. So there you go.
Are you going to go and move all of his stuff for him?
No, I have a trailer and a truck, and I will be the driver and the door holder and the guy that yells a lot because you're doing it wrong. But I helped him move the freaking couch he had. And I'm like, dude, I ain't moving that couch again. You better get somebody to help you because I can't do it. No. Mm-mm. But yeah, I'll do the I'll be the U-Haul, but I'm not lifting the heavy shit. No, he's got friends for that. Except for the couch was separate. But yeah, we do see them. He works here. So he's here off and on. Sunday's Mother's Day, by the way, folks. You got to remember your mom.
I'm looking for something real quick.
So I'm sure on Sunday you're going to call and apologize to your mom, as you always should.
I sent my mom her Mother's Day card like 2 weeks ago.
With a formal apology.
No one can say that I forgot it.
No one. Who's going to call you on it? Me? Oh.
My wife said to me, here's a Mother's Day card, sign it and put it in the mail. I was like,
And
yes,
there you
ma'am.
are. Yes, there you go. Because she didn't want you to forget. Because you wouldn't have otherwise, would you?
No. I would never have forgotten.
Well.
Wow.
It'll be all right.
I'm looking for something. Where am I at here? I gotta do a one of these multi-word searches on Twitter.
Oh, well. It ain't easy, but you can do it.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna
Is
find
it the
it.
Charles?
No, it's actually something that Phil.
Oh, Phil.
That Phil did. I'm trying to find the tweet that I hate it when people take like pictures of tweets.
Yeah, I do that.
I actually want to show the original tweet and not a photograph of the tweet because I want to respond to the tweet.
Oh, okay. I got you. Phil's a smart little rodent. He really is.
I think you're in love with him. Are you going to get a tube like the Richard Gere thing?
It's like a rodent crush. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. I heard about that.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know, but
apparently there's a scientific study somewhere that says that 88% of all TikTok videos are about vaping.
Yeah, I heard that.
I want to see the actual article. I want to see.
Where's Jude?
But I can't find it by looking for this source in the word vaping. Maybe if I do TikTok. This TikTok is not here.
Tic tac tock ting tong.
Because I want to see the analysis of the statistics on that.
Here we go.
That 88% of.
Oh, Greg. This is Greg. Top 5 influencers. Is that what you're discussing? Charles.
No, Phil retweeted a thing.
Yeah.
That here I'll show it. Scroll up. I'll present the screen cap of the tweet that Phil did. It says 98% of TikTok videos promote vaping to teens. So I want you to tell me where you can find. I want to see this data that 98% of all videos on TikTok.
Oh. Okay.
Promote vaping.
Okay. don't know that I could show that to you, Patrick.
I don't have TikTok, but I've seen a bunch of TikTok videos that had nothing to do with vaping.
Okay. So I will present what I thought you were going after because I thought it was funny more than anything. Let me. That's the wrong number here. Let me pre-rub my crap here. It's way over here too at the Victor share screen because I haven't changed my positioning. And I know this is going to surprise you because
doing multiple positions is actually enjoyable.
Is it good for you? Is it good for your heart while you vape? Maybe even
I like to be in different positions. That's, what I'm saying.
It's not a bad thing, is it? Yeah. All right. So Juka, I don't even remember if I retweeted this. Let me look just for fun. I did not on purpose. Hold on. Let me present the Victor share screen. My God,
on
you're
purpose.
bigger. Holy crap. On purpose. And hope we don't crash the screen here. So I saw Juka. Juka is the one that tweeted. Oops. All right. So, what the?
I think your share screen is really fucking everything up.
Where did it go? Oh my goodness.
I think you probably have way too many things open. You need to close your private messages, though.
Are they on?
Yeah.
There we go. So where did Juka go?
I don't know.
I'll try it again.
You're showing me a screen about MDOs, which we could talk about. But I'll share it on my screen.
MD more. Just can you imagine? All right, so Juka said, "What the?" There it goes. So this is Greg. So we'll go to Greg now. A group
That's Twitter
is selling. Do what?
That's Twitter. That's not TikTok. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. No, I thought this is what you were going with. A group is selling a report on social media posts about social responsibility, probably for hundreds of dollars, if not more. Is it really this easy to get money out of corporate department heads? And the top 5 influencers tweeting about social responsibility in the global consumer industry in Q1. Dr. Gardner.
Chuck.
Right? Can you, Dr. Gunther or Mark Gunther? I forget.
I think he's a writer. So I would say Mark.
Attorney Greg Conley. Some
Greggy.
dumbass and some other dumbass. Isn't that crazy? Can you see that?
Well, I'm on a first name basis with 4 of those people. So I had a long conversation on the phone with Mark Gunther once. So
yeah. Well, damn it.
So you have been named in another scientific paper, Kevin.
You know what? I didn't read it. I didn't even click on it. I just saw it and I thought, well, I don't know if you're going to mention it or not. And that's like, I think
didn't see it. I didn't see it. So I would not have mentioned it. But
well, the link is justdrinks.com. So I don't know how credible that is, but I guess it's probably okay. But who knows?
All right. So the last and the most breaking news, it was on your screen for a second there, but it says FDA issues marketing denial orders for approximately 6,500 flavored e-cigarette products. So today, on May 12th, the FDA issued MDOs to 10 companies, which collectively manufacture and market approximately 6,500 devices or e-liquids. The companies may not market or distribute these products in the United States, and retailers who sell these illegal products risk FDA enforcement action. The PMTAs, which were for a variety of flavored e-cigarette products, did not provide sufficient evidence to show that permitting the marketing of these products would be appropriate for the protection of public health. Flavors of some of these products denied include citrus, strawberry cheesecake, mint, and menthol. Today's actions add to FDA's continued progress on reviewing and issuing decisions on the applications for over 26 million new tobacco products. They denied 6,500 applications of 26 million
Boy, they're moving right along.
Man, they're making good time, Kevin.
By the time we're 90 and 94, they should be about done.
According to this, it says, to date, FDA has completed review and taken action on over 99% of these applications. Science is a cornerstone of FDA's tobacco product review process, said Matthew Fairley, PhD, Director of the Office of Science within FDA's Center for Tobacco Products. Today's decision to deny approximately 6,500 products that help people quit smoking was based on the lack of scientific evidence provided in the applications that we didn't read. We will continue to ensure all new tobacco products undergo robust scientific pre-market evaluation or big checks to determine whether they meet the appropriate for public health standard to be legally marketed. So I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Let's see if we know any of these people. Let's see. So Imperial Vapors LLC, I don't know. Savage Enterprises, I know. Big Time Vapes, I know. SWT Global Supply and Great Lakes Vapor, I do know. EC Blend, I know. I don't know these guys. So that Savage is was at one time a very big company. I don't know if they're still as big. They had a line of e-liquids all named after movie gangsters, and there was some nice liquids in there. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because you want to attract children, right?
Yeah. Let's name them after movie gangsters like Al Capone and Scarface and stuff.
Yeah. Al smoked. He was a smoker.
Cigars.
Yeah. He was a person who smoked, rather.
No, I mean, yes. So we don't want to demonize the guy that was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of people.
Watch your mouth now. Careful what you say there, George.
See,
Got my eyes on you.
I mean, Elliot Ness had to throw that guy off the top of a building and into the car. And when they
for the better good,
that was a great movie. I love that movie.
It was for the greater good of the country.
He got Sean Connery killed. He got
Well,
that's a great movie. What are you prepared to do? That's a great movie.
6,500 is that what you said?
6,500 out of 26 million applications. Then they claim that they've processed and denied 99% of the applications.
Well, I don't know what to say.
I would say statistically, if you look, they're probably planning on denying 99.9% of the applications.
Yeah.
Because they did say that like 8-10 years ago that was their plan to begin with.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, Kevin, but I think that they've known what they were going to do this whole time.
I heard some guy named Dave talking about it in 2014. I don't know.
I mean, I seem to remember a tweet I tweeted in a group, like a PMTA work group that I was fairly quickly kicked out of when I said they're going to find one thing wrong with every application and they're going to use that as a basis to deny every application,
like a robo deny,
and that they were going to use software bots to find the
bop, bing,
and some person that started a vape compliance company that I don't even think has a high school degree somehow told me I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And what did they do? They searched. They did a software search and wrote a piece of software that looked for holes in every application, and then mass denied a whole bunch of.
I've got a little scanner over there, a little Epson scanner that you can scan bills, receipts, what have you, and it is so smart that it'll file it where I want it, so I don't have to look for it, and I can destroy all of my evidence. It's all on less paper. So I believed you when you said, regardless of who didn't believe you, I believed that A, they weren't going to get approved, but B, by and large, B, that there is the ability for them to go 86 and I don't understand the software because I don't understand my scanner over there in the corner, but I do know when I put a piece of paper in there, it knows what it is and it files it for me and it says this is a receipt. And then when my taxes, I just shredded all my taxes. I had them all the way back from the first year we were married. And I looked it up on Google because Google is my thing. And how long do you have to hold your taxes? 3 years. Really? I shredded, I don't know, 28 years worth of shit.
I actually have
took a while.
I think I have all of my tax returns on this computer for like the last 10 years.
Yeah. No paper.
Because I filed electronically every year for the last 20 years, probably.
Yeah. But if I can have
because my wife and I don't have, we don't have enough deductions to itemize.
Right.
I said to her, we need to adopt like 6 Filipino kids just so that we have some deductions. Because they're cheap, man.
What are you talking about? Me being politically correct. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, literally, we could get her cousins that have like 12 kids,
and then just take
to give us their kids, so
bring
that
them
they
to
could
us.
easily come. We can adopt them legally, and then they could easily come to the United States because we've adopted them.
But wouldn't they have to visit their parents like 99% of the time, or they have to be with you 99%?
They would never have to go back to the Philippines. A lot of Filipino families are divided already. Like one of their family members will come here to make money, and the rest of them stay at home because it's cheaper for them to live there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm going to retire, dude. One of these days, I'm going to start broadcast. I'm going to start the show, and you're going to look behind me, and there's going to be a beach and palm trees and
6 little kids
Ipa hut.
around.
And an Ipa hut, and you're gonna say, "Where are you at?" And I'm gonna say, "I'm on the South China Sea in the Philippines, man."
With 6 little kids behind you, right?
Well, in the Philippines, there'll be 100 little kids running around behind me. It'll be on the beach, so there's already a bunch of kids running on the beach. So,
all right, well, don't give them any of your vapes because I've heard that people are doing that now.
No.
Don't do that. Don't.
I don't like my vape. Never share your vape, man. That's why people come home from conventions when we used to have those vape convention things. Yeah. Because stupid idiots would be like, "Oh, what are you vaping? Let me try it." Fuck that, no, dude.
Well, they got the vape rubbers and they got the mic setter.
I've seen some vapors like blowing into their vape before they inhale. No, I don't want their backwash in my cotton. No.
Oh, I know. I don't even touch Jan's. I think I may have to try a flavor for her, but just that doesn't do me any good, kind of thing.
You do. Apparently you're supposed to kiss your wife, so you probably already have her cooties.
Well, yeah, I've had her cooties forever.
Yeah, so
every time I'm sick, it's her fault. She always gets it first.
My wife claims that I always make her sick, and I said I haven't had a cold in like 8 years. Now I got a little bit of colds. I don't know what you call this, like air conditioning thing, but
the air conditioning crud. Yeah. I get it in the spring and the fall.
The AC is at 70. So we used to keep the AC at 75 degrees. Okay. And my wife would always complain if I moved it up 1 degree or down 1 degree, she would, if it was 74, it was freezing. 75 is normal. And if it somehow, when it was on the fritz and it was at like 76, 77, she was like, this house it's so fucking hot. And I'm like, it's only 2 degrees difference. Thank God it went on the fritz now and not in August.
Right. Ours is normally 71 or 2 year round. Doesn't matter.
My wife would constantly be coughing and snotting all over the place if it was 72 in here.
She's in charge of that. I will kick it up in the winter. I'll hit 72 when she's asleep because goddamn it, it's cold.
No, I turn in the wintertime. I'm cruel. I turn the heater down to like 68.
And then your bonus is when it's 69 or 70, right?
And I said, then they're like, it's cold. I put a sweater on.
Yeah, well.
Put an extra blanket on.
But we're from the same growing up era. Jimmy Carter said we have to conserve.
Phil, I love Phil.
Me too.
No, Phil just responded to my...
Oh, did he? Oh.
To my my begging here live on the show that I needed to know where this video came from or where that thing was. So now let's see. Let's present.
Is he listening covertly?
He very well could be ghosting on us. Let's see.
That little rodent.
Let's make sure. Okay. Here we go. New Curtin University research highlighted the dangers of relying on social media platforms. E-cigarettes are promoted on TikTok to assess the effectiveness of platforms. Okay, so now I know it's Curtin University.
Well, what better way to advertise advertising than to advertise about it?
Supposedly authored this. So let's see. Curtin University. TikTok. Now, let's be clear. Curtin University is in Australia.
Oh, of course.
All right. Here we go. This is right on the Curtin University website. Let's pre-rub this a little bit. Let's share screen. We're going to read this. We're going to read this as our last piece tonight. 98% of TikTok videos promote vaping, putting teens at risk, study. And this is from May 12th of 2023, which is today. No wonder I couldn't find it. Wow. It's brand fucking new. So there's a picture of a dude with an e-leaf that's probably, wow, that device and that topper on that is like seriously like 5 years old. Stock picture. New Curtin University research has found TikTok's policies on the promotion of vaping are frequently violated, putting the social media platforms, predominantly young users, at potential risk of e-cigarette exposure and use. Well, I mean, come on, guys. TikTok is a Chinese app owned and created by the CCP, and all e-cigarette products are manufactured in China. This is just a way for the CCP to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Lead researcher, Professor Janine Jancy from the Curtin School of Population Health said the findings highlighted the dangers of relying on social media platforms to develop and enforce their own policies around content. Our study explored how e-cigarettes are promoted on TikTok to assess the effectiveness of the platform's own drugs, controlled substances, alcohol, and tobacco policy. The sheer amount of potentially harmful content being fed to young people on TikTok shows self-regulation is failing. Of the 264 videos related to e-cigarettes that we studied, which had a total of 2.5 million views, 97.7% portrayed them positively, and these posts received 98.7% of the total views and 98.2% of the total likes. These used humor, music, shared vaping tricks, and referred to a vaping community supporting the normalization of these products. 69% of the posts, 26.1%, we reviewed violated TikTok's content policy by promoting these products. So 264 of the videos were vape related, and 69 of those posts. So there were still 195 or 96 videos that were okay, that did not violate the policy. These include videos containing details on how and where to purchase e-cigarettes, links to online retailers and other social media accounts for purchasing products and offers such as buy 3, get 1 free, and giveaways. Professor Jancy said federal regulations should be tightened to ensure penalties are enforced for both content creators and social media platforms that breach policies or government advertising laws. Yeah, try to find the CCP. Go ahead.
Wow.
It seems there are no major consequences for those who we do not know. Now, let's put some thought into this for a second. So
right.
TikTok is an app that was and is owned by the CCP.
Yeah.
Yet, people in China are not allowed to use TikTok.
Right.
The average Chinese citizen cannot get on the internet. They have their own private Chinese internet.
What's safer? Right.
So, isn't it odd that the Chinese government doesn't allow its own citizens to be on the internet, yet they hire developers to develop software to put on the regular world internet, the World Wide Web.
Right.
I find that interesting.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, social media platforms can decide the consequences of breaches of their policies, but they have a clear financial incentive not to punish people who breach their policies, Professor Jansen said. Government regulations that capture e-cigarette advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, including on social media, must be enforced. These should include requiring social media platforms to report on how they are ensuring these regulations are upheld. Co-author and professor of internet studies, Emma Lever, from Curtin School of Media, Creative Arts, and Social Inquiry, said because the videos are typically made by young people for young people, they are particularly powerful.
Yeah.
I haven't seen where they say that 98% or 99% of videos on TikTok are vaping related. I haven't seen that yet.
No.
This is essentially a form of peer-to-peer promotion where young people see their friends or celebrities portraying vaping in a positive way. In addition, some vaping content is posted by influencers who may actually be paid by the e-cigarette industry to promote their products, although this is not disclosed to young people watching these videos may not even know they are being advertised to.
Mm-hmm.
So nowhere in the body of this article does it actually say anything about the 98% of TikTok videos.
It's all in the wording, Patrick.
Now, I would say the headline should say 98% of TikTok videos about vaping promote.
Right, but it's all in the wording.
So this is the percentage of a percentage thing, Kevin.
Yes, well, it's tobacco control math. It's a very uncommonly known about thing. Like 2.5 million youths.
So 97.7% portrayed them positively. So that's where they're getting that 98%. But that's only 98% of the 264 videos that they found related to vaping.
And if TikTok is all videos and there's a million videos, what is the percentage of videos that are about vaping? 0.000001.
There's probably more videos on TikTok about
Tide Challenge, Tide Pod.
Well, they did. I don't know that they have. There's probably a couple million more videos on TikTok about people dancing beside moving cars.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Or skating down the road to Stevie Nicks, which I did enjoy that. I love that one.
I don't know. I like Stevie Nicks, but I don't know. I don't have TikTok. So the only TikTok videos that I have been experienced with are the TikTok videos that people put on their YouTube Shorts.
Right.
So there
I see
are
it on
some
my
of those.
Facebook feed. That's why
YouTube Shorts is sort of like YouTube's version of TikTok videos. Yeah. I did notice, in Kevin, Elon is rebranding TikTok, or not TikTok, Twitter.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it's going to be completely switched over to X. X is the and it's the app for everything. He wants it to be Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube all wrapped into and Instagram all wrapped into one platform. So he's introducing long form video content so that he can be like YouTube.
Yeah.
They're fixing they're going to do photo posting, which they already kind of do, but and he did hire a new CEO.
Oh, good.
So and he hired a lady so that people couldn't say that he was being sexist or whatever. But
wow. I don't know enough about him. I have no idea.
Well,
I don't want to, actually.
Your claim to fame, Kevin, the only thing that makes you special is that you're the Twitter phenom. You're the monster on Twitter.
Yeah,
you're one of them there.
Well,
old school.
I'm socially.
You're one of the original bots, Kevin. You know.
I'm promoting social responsibility as well. I heard. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean,
of all people in the whole fucking world. I got to read that. I guess I got to read that to know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. I'm scrolling down where he's talking about hiring. Yeah, here. So this is the tweet here.
All right.
I will present, share screen.
Yeah.
So it says here, I am excited to welcome Linda Yaccarino as the new CEO of Twitter. Linda Yaccarino, that's the name.
Okay. All right.
Will focus primarily on business operations while I focus on product design and new technology. Looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app. So earlier, he retweeted his own tweet. He says, excited to announce that I've hired a new CEO for X/Twitter. She will be starting in 6 weeks. So he's planning on changing the name of Twitter to X.
All right.
X, the everything app.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so
I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I kind of like Elon Musk. I wish I had fuck you money, because that's what he has. He has fuck you money. He can and will do anything that he wants to do, and there's no repercussions because he has fuck you money.
Yeah.
And so far, it has worked quite well for him.
He blew up a rocket a couple weeks ago, right?
But it was still a success. I mean,
Right.
They were like, but like he's made money for people. That's the whole thing. Is that like as long as he's making money for people.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, Twitter has not become profitable yet, but like if he gets all this shit in here that he plans on doing and monetization, and he starts bringing in ad revenue,
yep.
Like, do you think all of the I mean, obviously Trump left Twitter,
yeah,
but his account did get reactivated, but he's not using it. He's still staying over there on. He's still staying over there on that Truth Social or whatever.
Did it really good? Good for him.
But as far as that goes, like if he turns it around and he makes this the everything app, because I don't use Facebook anymore. I still have a Facebook, but I don't post on it. Right. I use it mainly for the messaging.
Yeah.
And I do actually still do post the show on, but I don't have to do anything. Like StreamYards does that for me.
Right. Yeah.
And I will go on there every Friday and share the show to a couple different groups to get people to come and watch. But literally, if I forget to do it, and there have been weeks that I have forgotten to do it, the same number of people show up anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it would be convenient for me to have one app that does it all.
Sure.
Next, he'll buy Zoom, and he'll integrate Zoom into Twitter too.
Oh.
I mean, what's his
name?
Zuckerberg did that. He bought Instagram to try to integrate it in with his Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got fuck you money too, pretty much.
Yes, I mean, Bill Gates got fuck you money.
Yeah,
but you know who has fuck you money that I didn't expect had fuck you money?
Who?
Ryan Reynolds, the actor Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I didn't know he had fuck you money.
So okay, here's the thing: Ryan Reynolds he had a gin company. He was partnered in a gin company. He sold the gin company for he went from $2 million. When he sold it, it was worth $20 million.
Yeah.
Then he turned around and bought Mint Mobile, which is a prepaid cell phone company.
Yeah, I've seen those. He
sold Mint Mobile, he bought into Mint Mobile, or he bought Mint Mobile for $40 million. He just sold Mint Mobile for $1 billion. Now, before he bought anything, he bought an ad agency, and their entire focus is fast and responsive advertisements.
Okay.
So, for example, Peloton put out a cringy commercial about Peloton where a man bought his wife a Peloton.
All right.
And it was kind of cringy because people said, well, he's saying that he bought her the Peloton because he thought she was fat. That was kind of the vibe that people got from the commercial. So 2 days later,
mm-hmm.
they had hired the actress that played in the Peloton commercial and shot a new commercial, an Aviation Gin commercial when he owned Aviation Gin.
Yeah.
As a sequel to that commercial where the girl was at a bar with all of her friends and they were comforting her over the divorce from the insensitive husband.
That's brilliant. That's pretty good.
Fast and responsive advertisement. And that's how he's grown. He grew every one of these businesses that he bought into.
Wow. That's funny.
And I'm like, he's an actor, but he's a shrewd business guy. He bought a UK soccer team for $5 million. He just sold that for 4 times what he paid for it.
Well,
So,
wow. Wow. Okay.
Like he's got fuck you money, and he wasn't one of those people I would have thought had fuck you money. Like they said that he has over $1 billion, and I'm like, damn.
Under the radar, right?
Like he's made a
Good
couple
place to
good
be.
movies, don't get me wrong, but I didn't think he had $1 billion, but damn. And he's married. His wife is an actress, and her name is Blake Lively.
No idea.
She's very attractive young lady. That's all. I'm very attractive young lady.
So did she get fuck you money, or was she? Never mind.
She was already a famous actress before, but yeah, I'm sure
okay.
he's worth more than she is. I'm sure.
I don't recognize.
She hasn't had that kind of, but obviously all of this wealth has been developed. They're Californians, so if he didn't get a prenup, she gets half of everything anyway.
Yeah,
and the kids. So, but all right, Kev. How do you want to say goodnight to all our friends that are still here? There's still a handful of people still here.
I want to say that we have the best damn audience in vaping podcasts ever. Period.
I would agree.
Every damn one of these. I love them all. Even the ones that are sleuthing on us.
I don't know Steve Vapes enough to say whether I love him or not. He's pretty new, but
well, he's got hearts down there. Why not?
By and large,
why not?
Addie sends me recipes that I can't make because I don't have the ingredients for. But he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
I have to renege on my questionable offer that I gave you last week. Anyway, it was questionable. Janice said, I'm not using nicotine anymore, so I'm going to keep some of these flavors before you get rid of them. I'm like, well, I'm kind of glad you told me that because you're going to use them. Then that's fine.
What would you get rid of flavors for? You never know when you're going to need them.
I don't want flavors. I got what I want.
But your wife still vapes, even if she's vaping zero, you dummy.
But she told me like 6 months ago, like, I'm just going to use a spearmint and that's it. I'm like, okay, then I'll box these up. And they've been boxed up for months. And she said, oh, no, I want those. I said, okay, honey, you can do it.
Sometimes you feel like you're nut and sometimes you don't, Kevin.
And, well, she married me long enough, so there you go.
But
she's my current wife, though. I want that to be clear. It's current.
Yeah, well, I don't imagine. I have a feeling that she's going to outlive you, for one thing.
She'll probably kill me, right? That's my thoughts. Yeah. She's got
one night she's going to just wake up and go, why am I stuck with this dumbass?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And she's going to
check the cameras.
She's going to put something in your spaghetti some night, or
Oh, why has it got to be the spaghetti?
I randomly just selected spaghetti.
Why is it got to?
She's going to put something in TV dinner some night, and then you're just going to.
I'd be the least suspect of the spaghetti, though. That's a good one. I'll let her know. Help from
a little strychnine in your spaghetti.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take the dirt nap.
Just plop. Room temperature challenge. Here we go.
And then nobody will even notice you're gone until the following Friday.
Right. I was gonna say it won't be until next Friday that anybody will go, where's he at? She ain't gonna tell you.
So if she offs you on Saturday, by Friday,
yeah.
And I just say, oh well, Kevin might be helping one of his brats move. So
it's allegedly Wednesday.
It might take 2 weeks.
I don't know.
But
it might be.
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna let Kevin go to bed because at his advanced age, he needs as much sleep as possible.
That's right.
We love you. We value you, and we hope that you come back and tell all your friends about how funny we are, and that they should come watch our show. And let's go out tonight with the best words ever put down on paper. we're gonna listen to the part of the Declaration of Independence. Have a good night, boys and girls.
See ya.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security.